All right, we are live. Rotten Corpse and Daniel, you guys are already here. Awesome, good to see you. Just go ahead and give me a thumbs up if audio is good. Let me know if I'm too hot or too quiet. I can adjust it before we roll into things. And also just make sure that the live is working. Usually it takes a couple of seconds for me to start seeing comments roll in. All right, there we go. Yeah, this is where it starts to catch up because it told me that there were like 0 people in here, now it's shooting up to 10. So we're getting there. Just let me know how the audio sounds and let me know that you can hear me. Say hi in the comments or in the chat. I guess that's the cool phrase that live streamers use. Jesse, how's it going? Oh, there we go. Now they're rolling in. Sounds good. What's up? Congrats on 100K. Appreciate it, White Ren. All right, here we go. Yeah, for some reason, it always takes a couple of seconds. Hear you load and cleat. Right on, man. Appreciate it. Evening, Kenji. How's it going? Congratulations from Kyle. Oh, hey, Kyle. How's it going? Yeah, no, 100K. Exciting stuff. I'm so glad that everyone has just been enjoying the content. That's super cool. Kind of revives my hope in this space that, it's not just all mindless garbage, that there is space for people who don't just shill. I think we were all getting bored of that. I know that that's like, one of the reasons I wanted to start the channel is because I felt like I was being, taken advantage of as a consumer. I was so sick and tired of buying guns and them breaking and having problems and quality control issues and the company not taking care of me that I just kind of was fed up. And I was sick and tired of seeing these, great reviews. And now I know, being in this space, being at this subscriber count, how many people are actually covering for companies. So it's awesome to see so many people getting behind kind of a representative of consumers in this space. And also just my little mission of normalizing the Second Amendment. I'm obviously not some, bearded ex-military dude or LE or something like that. I'm just a normal guy that likes nerdy stuff, that, can shoot well and knows a lot about guns and just enjoys making connections in the space. So definitely appreciate all of you guys sticking around for the content. So glad you've been enjoying. This is a milestone that, I wasn't sure if I would ever hit, especially with how difficult things are on YouTube. I know there are a couple of you out there that have channels or are starting channels, and you see how nearly impossible YouTube makes it for us. They definitely, it's a deterrent, right? Just like anything else, anti-gun is, they don't want to outright ban it, but they're going to make it so difficult and so inconvenient that they're going to discourage people from participating. So it's tough stuff. And really, it all boils down to you guys. You guys vote with your subscriptions who you want to kind of be a voice. And just really appreciate all of your support. To all my patrons, you guys are awesome. And something else that this channel has done for me is that it has helped weeded out some dishonest companies and honest companies. So I'm definitely grateful for them. The 2 companies that were first right off the bat to support the channel, despite my honesty, I didn't even give their products like a 100%, butt sucking review. I told the truth about it, were DPM Systems. They make the recoil reduction systems, and Handle It Grips. Those were the 2 companies that decided to take a chance advertising on the channel. So grateful to them. The best people at those 2 companies. So if you want to celebrate 100K, make sure you get something from DPM Systems and Handle It Grips, because they were first on board. I really appreciate them. As per the usual with my lives, I will try to get to absolutely everybody. I'm carving out like 2 hours for this, but if we really get into it, you guys know I've gone for 5+ hours before. So I'm going to do my best to get to everybody. I'm assuming there are probably going to be a lot of people here for the 100K. So super chats will be prioritized. If you're afraid that I might not get to you, super chat will be prioritized and I will definitely get to you, but don't feel any pressure. Let's see here. Let's hop into it. The new Bull 4.25, still #1 recommended CCW. It's certainly my favorite. I don't know if it would be the #1 that I would recommend based on your experience with manual safeties and grip safeties and that kind of stuff. But I highly recommend it, and it's definitely my favorite. Willing to give Shadow Systems a chance again? I know you had a bad experience with the CR920 due to the mag release. Yeah, it was the slide stop, and it turns out that was out of spec, and I found out months later. But yes, of course, I have nothing against Shadow Systems. I want to make this very clear. I feel like just talking about, hitting the milestone of 100,000 subscribers, I've made some mistakes along the way. And I think one of my regrets is maybe the way I approached discussing negative things with pistols. Maybe I didn't do anything wrong. Maybe it's not me, but it seems like in my reviews where there's something negative, that's all people see is the one negative. I had a lot of compliments to the CR920, right? I talked about the issue that I had and something maybe you should consider and look out for before purchasing one. So I have nothing against Shadow Systems. I, in general, like their pistols. Again, speaking honestly, me saying this, they'll probably never send me anything. I personally believe that you are paying extra to get a Glock with cosmetic upgrades. There's not a lot of performance upgrades. You're getting a Glock with cosmetic upgrades. And for some people, it's the grip texture or the frame that they like. At the end of the day, it's Glock. I was just talking to a couple of buddies at my local shop, and they equated it to putting lipstick on a pig. I think that's probably a little harsh, but it gets the point across. But I think Shadow Systems, great patriotic Americans at that company. I think they have some great policies, and I do think they make good Glock copies that make some of those, cosmetic upgrades, especially frame, grip texture, that kind of stuff that I'd like to see on Glocks. So yeah, absolutely open to giving Shadow Systems another chance, but not expecting them to send me anything. Appreciate it. Lots of congratulations. Thank you. I mean, honestly, this is just as much for you guys as it is for me. I mean, we're all a part of the community. Don't view this as my accomplishment. This is our accomplishment. I'm just glad that you guys have been enjoying. Own 4 bull armories and counting. I enjoy the bull appreciation. Yeah, I'm glad that they're picking up steam. Just be great if they could keep up with demand. I think that's really the only major con I have for bull armory. Congrats on 100K, even though you don't like the XC anymore. Oh my God. Hashtag triggered. No, I love the XC. It's still if I had to pick just one pistol that is like, what's your favorite pistol ever made out of the box? It would still be the Staccato XC. Even though I have a personal preference for bull armory, the XC is just really difficult to beat. 100K, good job. Let's nerd out. Absolutely. That's why we're all here. As I just flip through all of the congratulations, today's video is going to be obviously my usual Q&A. I'm here to just nerd out with you guys and talk with you guys about honestly anything industry related or, not industry related, with the exception of let's not get into, I know today's a very political day. I don't want to think about it. I get enough of that on the daily. So let's just put aside all of the crap that's happening in the real world and nerd out over the things that we love. Also, I have channel feedback listed in the title of this. This is an opportunity where if there's anything that you think that I could improve on the channel, to let me know. It doesn't mean I'm going to do it, right? Like, obviously, you guys subscribe because you want to see the content that I make. But if there's any feedback, it's like outside of I don't like the way that you look, let me know, because I'm definitely open to feedback and improving the channel. Now that we've hit 100K, in order to hit 200K, I'm definitely going to have to improve the channel. So I'm open to feedback, so let it go. And then also EDC discussion. The most recent video I did is I finally posted my entire EDC, what I carry every single day. So if you want to discuss your EDC or my EDC, ask me any questions. This is also your opportunity to do so. DPM, yeah, baby. DPM really is an incredible company and they make excellent products. After watching your video, I ordered the Smith & Wesson 357 3-inch to add to my collection. Going to switch my CCW from the 45 1911 I carry now. Great videos. Glad you're enjoying the videos, and that is super awesome. that you're getting a 357 mag, especially that 3-inch. That's a nice sweet spot for everyday carry. Man, you're going to love that thing. There's nothing like a Magnum wheel gun. Bought a bunch from DPM because of you. That makes me so happy. I have also got so many DPM products. I just thoroughly, through and through, recommend them. If you are at a high enough level in your shooting ability that you are shooting at defensive cadence and you are starting to hit a plateau in your actual performance, you're doing everything right, you're squared away, DPM can be that little bit, that 1% of an edge to get you over a plateau. I think that's a sign of companies wanting to evolve their product to be the best possible, and honest reviews lead to that. I agree, but very few companies have that perspective. You know, obviously Handle It Grips, DPM systems are both like that. They're like, give it to us, plain and simple, be honest, because we want to make better. Another company that I have massive respect for is HoloSun. I definitely obviously had a bad experience with one of their reps, and they sorry, I got distracted because I saw this, which is absolutely hilarious. We're just gonna go ahead and get rid of that. But that's really funny. Also, so HoloSun, they are 100% on board. Be honest so we can get better, and we want to make the products that the consumers want to see. They're a very consumer positive company. That does not mean that I will no longer tease them for being made in China. I tease them for being made in China. That does not mean they are not the best. That's something that I've 100% flipped on in the last few months, is that HoloSun is just the best red dot company, period. I think that everyone else is irrelevant. The only reason to run a dot other than a HoloSun is because you prefer it, or you like it better, you think it looks cooler. That would be the reason. So, just going to get rid of that spammer. So yeah, HoloSun, absolutely on board with them. And Palmetto State Armory is another one. And obviously Bull Armory, they are like the #1 pistol manufacturer that I am impressed with right now, listening to the consumer and offering more for less money. I'm just truly impressed. They're my favorite pistol manufacturer at the moment. We have a super chat here from Gabriel. Congratulations and thank you for the 507 comp advice. It's fantastic. Boom, right there. I'm putting the HoloSun 507 comp on every single pistol that I own. It only has one weakness. And I also want to give a shout out to Hunter Constantine. If you don't subscribe to Hunter Constantine's YouTube channel, go do so. He did a torture test on the 507 comp and showed just how durable it is. Yes, it is more durable than an SRO. It has one weakness. The bulb of the lens goes a little bit past the frame, and if you rack it on like a steel bar, it will spider web the glass. It's its only weakness. So as long as you're not planning on racking your glass off of like a plate rack, it's 1,000 times the way to go. The performance advantage you get from having that bigger window without having to deal with overhang from Trijicon, and with it being more durable than an SRO, it's just going on all my pistols. So I'm so glad that you are happy with that 507 comp, because it's definitely my favorite. All right. If you're here for less than 6 hours, you're a quitter, right? Yeah. Marvin Martian, appreciate it, man. Marvin has been behind the scenes supporter of the channel. Definitely appreciate all the advice and support that he's given me since joining the channel. His subs are over 9,000. Yep, man. Dragon Ball. I actually have the whole Dragon Ball manga right here. If you don't like Dragon Ball, you just don't know what's good. I have an interesting thing I've discovered on my CR920 after around 800 rounds through it now. The last round's trigger pull become extra heavy. Have you had that problem? I have not, but might want to take that to a gun doctor and get that looked at. That's interesting. I would, if it were me, I'd reach out to Shadow Systems about that. Cheers to 100K. Finally got my hands on a TAC 4.25 off the strength of your channel. Best gun tuber out there. I don't know if I'm the best, but I'm really glad that you're enjoying the content. And yes, that TAC 4.25 is the dopest. Hey again from France. I bought a Mac 9 DS. I agreed the defaults you found. Really honest reviews. Yeah, I mean, the Mac 9 DS, great for what it is. I think if you want, a staccato or a Bull Armory, and you don't mind tinkering with your gun, it is a great foundation to build it up yourself. Just needs a little bit of trigger tuning. And I mean, I go over everything in the review, but yeah, I'm glad that we're on the same page with that. Just kind of, validation. I know I'm certain. I know Humble Marksman and I basically put out the same exact review on that gun, which was hilarious, having not talked to each other about it. So sounds like we're all on the same page. What do you think of the Bull Armory 1911 45? Man, they make great 1911s. So I have a Dan Wesson 1911. If I could do it over again, I would get a Bull Armory 1911 and save the money. Not knocking Dan Wesson. It definitely has, all forged parts, arguably better fit and finish than Bull, but I would 100% go with Bull. Tier 1 APX review soon? Maybe. I'm not sure about that. Tier 1 very rarely hand stuff out, and I totally understand that because they don't need to. I just don't have a gun that I need a holster for right now. So maybe next time I need a holster, I will pick up the APX and do a review on it. But like for me, a lot of the stuff I do, I get things that I'm interested in and then share, my opinions on that. I love where the magazine is placed on the Axis Elite. So it's not like that was an outstanding issue for me. I think you could definitely speed up a reload by canting it. But I mean, how often are you seeing reloads in defensive gunfights? Maybe if I was, wanted to shave off 100th of a second on a drill that required a reload from concealment, that would help. Did you purchase the Tomahawk Compact ported? No, but I'm probably going to. It's one of those things where it's like I have the Stealth Arms Platypus on the way. I'm working on the Palmetto State Armory micro dagger review that has like the X macro style comp, G48 length, G43 X barrel with the integral comp. And then I have the PX4 Storm. So I'm just kind of behind on guns right now, but maybe on their next drop, I'll pick one up because I think that's one I would love to add to the collection. Now you've got to start reviewing some suppressors. That would be awesome coming from you. Yeah, definitely something. Now that the channel's getting a little larger, hopefully, sponsorships start rolling in and I'll be able to pull that kind of stuff off a little more easily, especially since suppressor wait times. Another problem is I do all my stuff through a trust. So I probably just do it individually for that to get it faster because I only have one can right now. Other than that, I mooch off of my dad's cans. They'll be tax-free soon. He should wait. Fingers crossed. Until maybe a tragedy happens with a suppressor again right before that happens. And then just crazy coincidence. And then it won't. Then that'll get shot down. No pun intended. What idea are you thinking on improving the channel? Congrats on 100K. Honestly, just, there's a clear difference between a channel like mine and a channel. I mean, I know entertainment based, right? But a channel like, Garantham, I mean, he has an entire crew, right? And same thing with PewView, Demolition Ranch, all that kind of stuff. I just want to, honestly, two things. One, increase the content that I'm putting out. Because right now I'm doing the best I can. I'm overwhelmed because I want to be thorough with my reviews. I don't want to half-ass it. So I'd like to pump out more. Honestly, get more shooting footage for the reviews. And something else I'd like to do is talk while shooting. Just the range that I'm at now, well, I'm grateful for it. It's great for footage. There are usually people shooting on other bays, and the audio is a challenge. So maybe improving microphone setup, just increasing production value. And something else I want to do, the other thing, is I've kind of been in a trap of product reviews. I want to offer a couple of other things, entertainment related, maybe, podcast related, since I would only do lives if I could. Lives are my favorite thing. I just prefer interacting with you guys live. And I think that that's how we make the most progress as a community, by having live conversations. The problem is on YouTube, they just don't really promote or push lives. So it's challenging to get big viewership on YouTube doing lives, which is why I just kind of do it to hang out with you guys. But I would also like to, and I don't want to turn this into a political channel, but I do want to at least do my part to normalize the Second Amendment. And I think that having a following in this space and saying no politics on the channel whatsoever, it's something that I've always disagreed with. I obviously respect individual opinions of channels who feel that way, but I think at some point, if we do not at least touch on gun politics a little bit on the channel. Again, not turning this into a political channel, but if we don't touch on it, it's kind of irresponsible, in my opinion. I think that we need to protect this right. And in this space, we very much have an Eagles don't flock mentality. But when we build up a community like this, I think that we can really have some power to educate and make a difference. So that's something else I would like to integrate into the channel. Just kind of, use the following the community that we're building here to do some good in the world and the country. Still need to watch that EDC vid. Yeah, it's definitely something fun to put on and just listen. I get a kick out of seeing and hearing what other people carry. So I feel like what people carry tells you a little bit about them. It's like a window into the soul for men, I suppose. That's not excluding ladies or others, but I think that it's a kind of a masculine thing. Kind of enjoy seeing what other people carry. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have you checked out the T1C Apex APX holster? I have not yet. Maybe in the future. Can we call you the baby-faced assassin since you're good with guns and a martial artist? Just teasing. Yeah. Honestly, that's one of the nicer things I've been called. Glad I was finally able to get on here. Congratulations on the milestone. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it. What do you think of G9 defense ammo based out of Idaho? I've been so locked into the tried and true federal HSTs, Spear Gold Dots, that kind of stuff. I have not done enough research on it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that the lightweight stuff that they're starting to make waves? Revolvers, gross. Stop having fun, everybody else. Of course, just kidding, Marvin. Do you still think highly of Dan Wesson? I'm thinking of getting a 9mm specialist. Yes, it is the best production 1911 you can get. I do not regret my Dan Wesson at all. Just if I could do it again, I would have saved money, gotten a bull armory. But Dan Wesson, in my opinion, is still top dog for production because they're kind of semi-custom 1911s. Highly recommend them. It's the only single stack 1911 that I own is that Dan Wesson Specialist in 45. I was waiting for someone to bring this up, and Jeremy Baus is the one. Just learned from Ben Steger channel, and yes, it is Steger, much like my last name. That O is a tricky one. Just learned from Ben Steger's channel that 2011's failed drop test. Guess I should have known that, but surprised to hear that for a common duty or police department endorsed gun. Any thoughts? So I don't think I was talking to somebody in the comments about this. I think it was somebody else. I respond to hundreds of comments a day, so you have to pardon me if I don't have a perfect memory. So here are my thoughts on that. I thought this was common knowledge, and the amount of surprise that I've seen on the internet about this just goes to show how many people, how many enthusiasts we have collected on the internet in the last 5 to 10 years. The Series 70 1911 has never been drop safe. If you drop it at that exact angle on the barrel, the firing pin will move forward and will set off a round. I thought it was common knowledge. That's the whole reason for the Series 80. The problem with the Series 80 is they added a firing pin block. So let's say this is the firing pin, and this was a Series 70. And when you drop it, it goes off. They added in the Series 80 essentially a firing pin block. This is an oversimplification, just visual reference, where when you pull the trigger, this slides down, right? And then the firing pin can hit the primer. It made the trigger kind of gritty and crappy. And that was the main pro of a 1911. So after years of Series 80s being out there, people decided to just live with the fact that Series 70 1911s just aren't drop safe at that angle on the barrel. And I think a huge reason people are okay with that is because in order for it to go off, it has to hit face down on the ground. So the bullet's not going to go anywhere except into the ground. Yeah, you have to deal with fragments from both the ground and the bullet, but the likelihood of somebody dying from that is pretty slim. So people just decided to live with that. And I think that once these companies started branding 2011s for duty use, they just kind of why would you tell anybody that, right? And I mean, Ben, I'm assuming 100% knew that was going to happen. So those are my thoughts on it. I think that you're totally fine to carry it all day pointed at your junk. It just, if you drop it at that, I think it's like a 35-degree angle or something on the barrel. The surprising thing with the Staccato, the XC, is that it was like a 6-foot drop, 5-foot drop, and it went off. I think in Series 70 testing, they had to hold it up way higher than that to get it to go off. But if you aren't aware, typically switching to like a titanium firing pin will prevent that from happening. And I would argue that something like the Staccato XC at that price point, at that price range, should probably come with that. But I'm also not an engineer, not a firearm engineer. There might be a reason they can't do that. I don't know. Do you think a DPM would improve the XC? Yes, it's a little bit. A little bit. I've been playing around. So I had a prototype DPM kit for the XC that I found a really good combination with. I now have the actual production kit that I've been playing with, and I found 3 combinations that are good. I'm just trying to figure out which one of those is better than just a standard spring, but it's going to be a small improvement. Some pistols benefit more from a DPM system than others. So in my opinion, with the XC, you'd be fine with a standard weight spring. I personally run an 8-pound spring in mine, but every gun will typically improve at least a little bit from a DPM system. Yeah, don't drop something that costs over $1,000. Hey, I don't know, man. Sometimes things happen. I wouldn't want to carry a gun that wasn't drop safe at a different angle where the bullet could actually go and smack somebody. I've heard mixed things about Smith, Ruger, and Colt QC lately. What's a guy in a budget to do? For 1K, should I roll the dice on American made or save for a Spore? You are correct. Quality control is terrible at all of those companies right now. That being said, I'm hesitant to recommend getting an older Smith, Ruger, or Colt, because if you don't know what you're looking for, you could get a gun that is potentially dangerous. Like obviously there are things that you can do, check the timing, the cylinder gap, end shake, all that kind of stuff. I'm probably going to do a video tutorial on that, probably get demonetized for showing how to make a full semi-automatic weapon. Spore is excellent. I think that it is one of the best options out there. I think that it's obviously less than a Korf, and it is beefy and durable. I still think, I mean, here's my personal recommendation. Get a Smith & Wesson, send it to Nelson Ford at the Gunsmith Inc. Then you're going to have exactly what you want for far less. That's my personal opinion. If you're looking to get into wheel guns, I mean, also at the same time, you could get a Ruger if you prefer that and send it off to Nelson Ford. He works on those too. It does seem that Colts, specifically the Pythons, are the most consistent, but remember they are mass produced, and I've definitely seen issues with those. I mean, you can go watch a Hickok 45 video of like that 3-inch Python Elite or whatever, and it's like hanging up on when cocking it or double action. I don't remember. Either way, yikes. But I would get a Smith or a Ruger, send it to Nelson Ford, and you're going to be out cheaper than a Spore. But if you want the beefiest all forged thing, Spore is a no-brainer. Love this channel. Congrats on all your success. Proud of you. Let it rip. Beyblade, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. Matt from Palmetto State. Congrats, man. The next 100K should go quick. Excited for that Micro Dagger review. Yep, Micro Dagger review will go live next week. And that does have a Johnny Glock's 4311 trigger in it. So I will be doing also a review on the 4311 trigger. So definitely look forward to that. I know I'm getting through comments slow, but hang with me here. Patience is required on these lives for me to get to everybody. I'm on my XC with the 507 comp green dot. It's freaking awesome. Yes, it is. I feel your pain on some manufacturers. I love my Springfield Armory 1911s, but the problem of tight spec chambers on 9mm has caused recurring issues. They fix it when RMA'd, but it shouldn't be recurring. Yeah, and especially with Springfield Armory, see that all the time. Why did you switch from the XC to the Bull? Specifically for carry, the one, I prefer the grip texture on the Bull. Full stop. Like, it's no competition. I prefer that. I also prefer, since the Bull Armory, that the 4.25 tack, the original one, has an aluminum frame, I was shaving off 1/10 of a second on my time to first shot just from having a lighter weight gun, and I could still shoot it almost as well. And comparing the Bull Armory to, let's say, a Staccato P or a C2, I prefer the recoil impulse and return to zero of the Bull Armory. In my opinion, the Bull Armory is a better shooting gun than the uncomped Staccatos. So that was my main reason for switching. 12-hour stream or nothing from Donkey Defense. Also, if you're not subscribed to Donkey Defense, go subscribe to him. He is, just be forewarned, he tells the truth harder than I do. So prepare to be butthurt, but it's always a good time over on Donkey's channel. He's also been a huge behind-the-scenes supporter of the channel. I appreciate him so much, and a great friend that I've made in the YouTube space. So Definitely grateful for you, donkey. How are you only at 100K? That's the problem with YouTube. I mean, so first of all, just YouTube in general, the algorithm changed about maybe a year ago at this point. I've been saying like 6 months for 6 months, so it must have been a year ago. That made it hard on everybody who is not a massive channel. So, if you don't have, let's say 500,000 subs or 750,000 subs or more, you got hit with the algorithm change where it used to be the algorithm would show your videos to people. Now your video has to be a slam dunk. And this is another opportunity to touch on maybe another regret or another feedback opportunity for the channel, or at the very least to explain myself. I've gotten feedback in the past that my thumbnails are obnoxious, and it has made people hate me. I'm really sorry to say that when I started doing the obnoxious thumbnails, the amount of people clicking on my videos and watching them and the subscribers I was getting quadrupled. It made a massive difference. So you have to have a video that has, an obnoxious thumbnail that people are going to click on. So I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. I hate doing them. When I'm doing I'm just like in my mind, just end it all, please. But I just want to reach as many people as I can in normalizing the 2A and getting honest reviews out there. So I feel like it's a necessary evil. If anyone has any ideas for other clickable thumbnails that aren't me going like, let me know. And also your video has to be a slam dunk. So also annoying titles, right? That's the other thing, is you have to come up with a title that is going to get people to click. So it sucks. It's basically rewarding clickbaity stuff. I just do my best to encourage clicks while still delivering, right? Like I don't want to lie in titles. So it's a struggle trying to make every single video a slam dunk. It's a reason I've had to turn down companies like Siley that make, red dots, because I'm like, dude, this video is not a slam dunk. It's not, unfortunately, it's not worth my time to do. I can only do videos that I can spin in a way to make it a slam dunk for general audiences. Because if it does not test well in the very first run that YouTube does, YouTube will just murder it. So it's unfortunate, but it's the name of the game. And it's also probably why I'm also at only 100K. But this is just the beginning, friendos. We're on a rocket ship. 100K is the jumping off point. Thanks for the recommendation on Johnny Glock trigger for my 43X. I think the combat trigger turns the 43X into a sweet shooter. Yes, especially testing the 4311 and having had the 43 combat trigger. I think the combat trigger is going to be the choice for most people that are used to striker fire triggers. The 4311 is a weird animal, so I'm definitely excited to review that. But I'm so glad you're happy with it. The Glock 43X has a terrible trigger, so it's a relief to be able to put like an S tier trigger in that gun. Do you still think highly of Dan Wesson? Yep. Covered that. Dragon Ball manga looks really good when it's perfectly lined up on the bookshelf. Yeah, especially this one. I wanted to get the one that had the least censorship and all that kind of stuff. So this is the one I went with. And yeah, there's a whole image that goes along when it's all lined up. Those are always fun. What is my best choice for 1911 in the $1,800 range? Dan Wesson. If you don't want to spend that much, Bull Armory. Hellcat Pro review in the future. It's something that's been on my list for a while. I think at this point, it might be the only major micro gun that I'm missing. And I guess the Ruger LCP Max as well. So it will eventually get tossed in there once I get caught up on everything. I'm sure of it. Bull Armory does have that railed stainless 1911 that just looks super sweet to me. I agree. That's the one for sure. I just got my LTT Compact RDO NP3. Is nice, and the trigger is ridiculous for a double action, single action gun. Langdon Tactical, especially like the 92. Wow. Unreal. Since your channel focuses primarily on pistols, you should ask Flux Defense for their 365 Raider. Honestly, might do. That's something that is really neat. I like that you can appendix carry that. That's super dope. I keep hoping Stealth Arms will make the Platypus in a compact size and some other calibers. I think the only major caliber they're missing now is it 10 millimeter? Or I think they're making a 357 SIG even, right? But by the way, I have like 1 week left on the lead time for my Platypus, everyone. So thank you for being patient with me. Trust me, I wanted to wait and get all the new features on it. I am so close to having it in hand. Congratulations. Thank you, Ron. Thoughts on grip pressures? I think as hard as you can with your support hand, and then firm enough to not be milking it with your right hand. That's kind of where I stand. That being said, that doesn't mean that that's always the case, right? Like I have found that when I shoot at longer distances, sometimes a lighter pressure and letting the gun do its thing can help with precision at distance. So situational, since the vast majority of my shooting is at defensive cadence, doing defensive drills, I just grip and rip with my support hand and then have my right hand not death gripping, but tight enough where I'm not squeezing my whole hand as I pull the trigger. But grip pressures, people can make it complicated and people can make it easy. I prefer to make it easy. Lock that support hand down like a vice. And the only thing you have to be aware of is squeezing, even just little micro squeezes while you're shooting can throw your shots off by inches. Ever considered to EDC your Langdon Tactical? I have for fun in the past, for sure. It's just mine, the way I have it outfitted with the dual port Jarvis comp, it's a monster. So it's definitely a for fun thing, but the thing has never hiccuped with the comp. With the DPM system in there, it shoots almost as well as the Staccato XC and the Bull Armory TAC Pro. It's that good. Definitely one of my favorite pistols of all time. If I'm looking for gun reviews, it's you and Honest Outlaw. You guys are the only ones to do the 750 round count or higher. Yeah, I would do 1,000 if I could. I'm definitely, speaking of companies, I'm grateful for Buffalo Creek Ammo because they've been sending me, I mean, I'm not talking pallets of ammunition, but some ammo every single month, and it's good quality stuff. And it definitely helps me hit those round counts. My round count for reviews was 500 until that Canik MC9 crapped the bed at 750. And I got to say, it broke my heart when I watched Nut and Fancy's review of it. And he was calling out channels that claimed that there were things wrong with it and claimed that it started crapping the bed at a certain round count. And he just flat out didn't believe it because he had never seen it before. And he was someone who used to put, 10,000 rounds through a gun. And he only put, I think 500, was it even that, through it? And that broke my heart. Cause I'm like, man, I used to watch your reviews where you were putting thousands of rounds through these guns before recommending them. And now you're putting just a couple hundred through it and calling it good and saying that everyone who had a problem at a high round count, was, I don't know, not cleaning it or limp wristing or whatever, which, as you know, does not happen on my channel. No limp wrist, and I properly maintain my firearms. So that's what informed my 750 round count, because if the MC9 could fail at 750, then maybe other pistols could too. Yeah, lives can be hard if your channel is mostly longer videos and vice versa. Yeah, it's challenging for sure. Thoughts on the Live Free Apollo 11? I think it can be good. I know that I kind of lost my interest at SHOT Show when the ones I was looking at weren't tuned very well. And obviously, like, if you've seen reviews on them, I know Blue Jean Operator, his was choking on hollow points, right? And I'm sure you've seen other problems out there. You really do get what you pay for. And in the double stack 1911 or 1911 space, when you pay less, it's the fitment. And fitment is really important on these things. So as far as Live Free Armory goes, I think they're a great company, great patriotic Americans. And I think they put out a good budget option. I just wouldn't be surprised if you had to send it back. But it seems that the people who have them that run seem happy with them. Honestly, I'm excited to see what they do next. I'm excited to see the next generation of them. I'll DM you what my recording videos. Thank you, Murph. Another channel to subscribe to. Done some good, like concealed carry, double stack 1911 content. I've watched your vids and I like them. I'm a fan. Jeremy, you made a comment about recommended BV, the 2024 Staccato CS now, that they corrected the issues. Can you share more on that experience and what changed your mind? Thanks. So I do not own a CS, but I shot a buddy's original OG CS, and I felt it was kind of snappy. I felt the claims where it shoots like a full-sized gun weren't really, I don't know, were exaggerated. And one of my close buddies locally got a 2024 CS where they beefed up the frame, which basically adds non-reciprocating mass to the gun. Now I think it shoots almost like a full-size gun. So it's one of those things where, who knows, maybe I was having an off day when I shot that original one. I don't think I was. I do think that the changes they made to the 2024 CS, it makes it shoot like a bigger gun now. I think that non-reciprocating weight and then beefing up the frame, and maybe the slide too. I'm trying to remember, but all I know is that 2024 CS shoots great. And I think I saw did I see on their website? Maybe someone's gonna have to check this for me. Did I see that Staccato is doing like a 15 round CS magazine now? Because if so, that would correct my major complaint about the CS that has X macro symptom or syndrome where the bumper on the mag is so long that it basically just turns it into like a Glock 17. I thought I saw on their website when I was on there last time they now have a 15 rounder that has a smaller base pad. So that would certainly be neat. Humble Marksman is on the PX4 bandwagon. All the cool kids are doing it. Shameless peer pressure. Seriously, the PX4 rules. Yes, I have. I have a. Sorry, I got distracted. So we're currently working on the PX4 review right now. I have a Langdon Tactical PX4, and I have to say, spoiler alert, it is the softest shooting, non-ported, non-comped pistol I've ever shot in my life. So definitely understand why Humble Marksman and everybody else is hopping on the PX4 bandwagon. I only have one complaint, and the LTT one that I got does not have the, I think it's a Gray Guns flat trigger in it, right? And the reset's kind of crappy on it. So I'm almost like being neutered in how fast I can run the gun because I'm having to reset the trigger further. Maybe it's because I'm spoiled with my Langdon Tactical 92 that has almost a shorter reset than a 2011. But I feel like I can't run it as fast as I want to because of that. But it seems that flat Gray Guns trigger has a shorter reset. So that's the one thing that I wish I would have gotten on that instead. Found your channel when you put out your Samurai Edge video. Been a huge fan ever since. Congrats. Yeah, that Samurai Edge video is one of my favorite videos I've done. Unfortunately, YouTube struggles to find an audience for my nerdy gun stuff, like my Samurai Edge video, my Desert Eagle video that I talked about, video games and movies and TV shows that the guns were featured in. The only one that did well was the Jericho video. And that's just because, I don't know, I think it was more so the Jericho than it was the Cowboy Bebop gun. So I really want to find a way to maybe word titles or keywords to grab people who are more on the nerdy side of things. But I want to actually do a follow-up video with the Samurai Edge to give it a second shot because I love it so much. And for those of you who don't know, that is the Beretta from the Resident Evil franchise. Trying out the new primary arms, GLX, RS-15. I'm a sucker for alternative reticle options. Yeah, I think we were talking about that. Yeah, definitely let me know how that goes. I'm always interested in, getting other people's opinions myself. I mean, I'm also a consumer. It's not like I'm here shilling and creating content and, taking paychecks or free stuff or positive reviews. I'm also a consumer and interested in how that does. So that's another thing I like about our community is we're kind of becoming a collective. We can bounce ideas off of each other and we can, kind of give each other ideas on what might be good and what might not be good. So happy for you. Do you realize what happened with your 100K or still not? No, what happened with my 100K? Let me know. Maybe I'm missing something. Your live streams are top notch. I appreciate it. Like I said, doing the live streams is my absolute favorite. It's the only thing I would do if I could get bigger reach through it. Have you ever had a panel style live? No, but it will be coming in the future. It's something that I've been meaning to do for a while. I just got really bogged down in product reviews, way behind. And every single time I'm almost done, it's like, oh, nope, here's another one. So I absolutely want to, I want to start out having single guests. I want to have a single guest. And obviously I won't go for like 2 hours, 5 hours, whatever, with a guest, but I want to start doing maybe a 90-minute live with a guest, seeing who I can get on here. Donkey Defense is somebody that I want to have on. And I've also privately messaged a few other people that I would like to have as guests on the live. And it'd be really cool to get somebody like Ben Steger on the live. I think it would be awesome to have someone who isn't afraid to tell the truth, similarly to myself on here, to just start crap talking people. Congrats. Just got the Wilson SFX9 with comp and acro P2. That is an awesome setup. Congratulations to you, my friend. That's awesome. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Will you do a drop test on the Bull gun? Probably not, because I know how it would turn out. It's a Series 70, turn out the exact same way. Steger loves drama. He's still fun to listen to and a wealth of knowledge. If you've noticed, his subscriber count is climbing. Yeah, he's definitely a controversial dude, but I do not disagree with him often, and that is including on shooting technique. Mario, second gen Springfield Prodigy modified. Don't pay more than $1,200 new. Yeah, that's honestly good advice if you're looking for a double stack 1911. For single stack 1911s, standard manufacturing are underrated. You should try one. All forged, no mim, really high quality, usually retail for $900 to $1,300. Amazing production 1911s. I've seen Beretta 9mm USA run those, and yes, they do look good. Standard manufacturing is owned by Connecticut Shotgun, one of the bougiest over and under shotguns ever. Also true. Some of you may not know this, but I used to compete very heavily with over and under shotguns. That is a part of my past. I used to shoot those high-end shotguns. Don't forget to mention me during your giveaway, as it was my idea. Yes, we will see. I'm hoping to do a giveaway. I'm going to see what I can come up with for giveaway. I'm thinking maybe like a red dot or something in a future video. Probably a future live. I would love to give away like a 507 comp or something. But yes, I will do my best to remember. I juggle a lot of stuff in my brain, but I will do my best to remember that you are responsible for a giveaway. How would you conceal carry a G19 with an acro and a TLR-7A with a suit and tie? I would refer you to my, how to carry with a tucked in shirt. In fact, I probably need to update that video. And I think I talked about that in a previous live as well. I would have a support belt. Check out my comfort concealment belt review as well. I talk about it in there too. I would have a support belt underneath my suit pants. And I would clamp like DCC clips underneath my dress belt over the pants, over the like comfort concealment belt that's against your skin or over your underwear or whatever, and then hide those clips with your dress belt. If your clips are still showing, just clip it directly to the comfort concealment belt under your pants and then tuck everything in. And with a shirt that you don't care about getting wrinkly, practice ripping your tucked shirt out and drawing with it. You just may need to pull up your shirt a little bit to poof it out so that it doesn't print, and it's probably going to be uncomfortable. Pull your dress belt as tight as you freaking can so that it does not bulge. That's personally what I would do. It probably not going to be comfortable. I do that kind of stuff for weddings and really fancy dinners or, nice events. Probably not going to be the most comfortable thing, but you're going to be armed and literally nobody's going to guess what you packing. There's somewhat a fix for the Series 70 drop safe. It's a titanium pin and heavier spring. Yeah, I mentioned the titanium pin, but the heavier spring as well, for sure. Thanks, Marvin. I was also looking at the Springfield Emissary. Made a face. The kind of gentlemen who wear a suit and tie daily don't EDC a G19. Hey, G19, like it's that meme, the bell curve meme, where it's like the idiot, and it's like, I carry a Glock 19, and then it goes up the bell curve, and then it's like the screeching, crying nerd guy, and he's like, I carry a staccato C2 or like a SIG, 229 SAO or something, and then it goes back down to the Jedi Master, and it's like, I carry a Glock 19. Nothing wrong with a G19, but funny joke all the same. Save for a Spore. Nothing wrong with that. I got into firearms by watching movies like Heat, Lethal Weapon, and Predator, as well as being a huge Metal Gear and Resident Evil fan. I'd love to see you do more videos of guns from those mediums. Something 100% on my list to do. In fact, I really want to branch out. Again, I don't want to go full like demo ranch, right? Like full, not that there's anything wrong with that, right? Just I don't want to be 100% like the entertainment dude. I want to remain, a voice for the consumer and also normalizing the 2A and offering educational content. That's something else I want to keep doing. Like people are asking, like, how do I conceal carry in a tucked shirt? I want to help people with that. I want to make sure there's no excuse for you to not be armed every day. That being said, on the entertainment side of stuff, I do definitely want to do more videos like that. Like I said, I just haven't found a way to hit the view counts that I'd like to see for the amount of effort those videos take. Like that Samurai Edge video, one of the highest effort videos I've ever made. It did barely okay. It still gets views. That's the thing, is it's kind of like a slow burn, but I really wish it was doing better. No, G9 is they're the solid copper round guys. Yeah, I definitely want to keep an eye on them. Honestly, I want to see, you have to realize I normally have literally zero filter. If you ever meet me in real life, it's a trip. But on YouTube Live, I need to be careful. I want to see an agency that adopts rounds like that actually put them to use in real life applications to see how they perform against real things. That's what I'm interested in, because I believe in tried and true, not so much in theory. But yeah, the solid cut, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, they're doing super dope stuff. Nelson Ford at Gunsmith Inc. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the recommend. Absolutely. Tell him that Nightwood Guns sent you, and he will probably give you crap about it. That's just how he is, because he's hilarious, and he'll take care of you. He'll make sure you're taken care of. Try out NVIDIA RTX voice for isolating your speech at the range. It's quite effective, according to my calculations. I do like nerdy stuff. I came here to say, Bobbles, I don't know about you. I'm a big fan. As someone who is going into law enforcement, should I get a bull armory staccato or just get a Glock like everyone else? Honestly, like, short answer, get a Glock. If you don't want a Glock and you want one of those, probably get a staccato, just because staccato is in the US and can quickly service your pistol. If you need it, like, you're like, hey, my duty gun is down, I need it fixed yesterday, staccato will take care of you. That's really the only reason. Other than that, I would tell you to get a bull armory. But if you're using it for duty, I would go staccato for that reason, and that reason only. I have the 507 comp on my Tomahawk. Can't wait to put one on my TAC Pro when they drop. Hell yes, brother. What fun gun for Civil War? If I don't get at least one with my Desert Eagle, I need to see what a 50 asshole eliminator does. I really need to see it. So I want to get at least one with that. I've bought the MR920 last month. The slide is fine, but the frame has a lot of plastic burrs on it. I do love shooting it over the PDP though. Yeah, I mean, that honestly, that's happening across the board, not just Shadow Systems, right? Oh, and by the way, like the Civil War comment, a lot of people don't realize this, and I came to the conclusion, you know that your channel is doing well when people start to bring you up on Reddit. And whenever, one of you guys sees something about me on Reddit, one of you will usually send it my way and I can look at it and laugh. Seems that most people on Reddit absolutely hate me, which is honestly probably a compliment. But a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the time I am just deadpan trolling. So please know that stuff like that, it's like dodgeball. I'm just kidding, but not really. I am deadpan trolling a lot of the time, and I am literally just making jokes a lot of the time. And just some people take me seriously and think that it's cringe. Just know that I just flat out deadpan troll sometimes for my own amusement. So maybe spread the word on that. Just get a Glock. It fits the job. Try and look cool. If crap get real, you'll be cool. All right, with the skull. Honestly, probably good advice, but just know there's nothing wrong with estaccato. Shoot a high-end 2011 and you'll get it. It's true. It really is true. It makes it easier to perform at a higher level, in my opinion. We have Super Chat. How's your experience been with the DPM soft recoil system on a G19 with a Radiant Ramjet afterburner? I am so glad you asked, because it is the game changer. If you get the Radiant Ramjet afterburner and you're running an OEM spring in it, it's like, okay, this maybe takes the bite out, but it's really expensive for just doing that. Then maybe you'll put a 15-pound spring in there and you're like, okay, now I'm seeing the benefit of the Radiant Ramjet afterburner. Then you put the DPM soft system in the Glock 19 with a Radiant Ramjet afterburner, turns it into a laser beam. It is, I'm turning everybody onto it. So if you have a Gen 4 or Gen 5 Glock with a Radiant Ramjet afterburner, DPM systems, order the soft captured system. From my testing, that is the combo that turns the Glock with a Radiant Ramjet afterburner into just this otherworldly cordless hole punching, flat shooting laser beam machine. It makes all the difference. And of course, Nightwood at checkout, save you some. Just got to be careful about what I say. So great question. Thank you for asking. I'm just right now filling the air as I scroll back to where we were on comments. Bear with me here. Someone play some elevator intermission music. Oh, also, I want to go back to this comment. I'm probably going to do a video on this. There is currently a culture war happening with the 2A. I don't know if you guys saw the news, but families from a certain tragedy are suing Daniel Defense and Activision, who is the publisher developer for Call of Duty, for maybe and they're suing Meta as well, for maybe influencing somebody to commit a tragic act. You can't show guns on TikTok, which is where all of the young people are, where you could culturally influence them to be responsible gun owners. On Instagram, they shadow ban you to your face. Like my Instagram account says your post cannot be shown to non-followers. Obviously, people run into problems with getting banned on Facebook. Even on dating apps, you cannot have pictures of firearms, so you can't find somebody else who's interested in firearms. I met my wife at a shooting range. So I think that's just kind of like an important thing to be on the same page about. I mean, obviously not mandatory. You can always get somebody into it, but man, how cool would it be to meet somebody who already has that same interest? And Hollywood, all of the anti-gun, like the Everytowns and the Moms Demand all started influencing Hollywood to basically like a reefer madness propaganda with firearms, where anytime a civilian uses a firearm, it either accidentally kills somebody else or they fail and they get hurt. Just absolute brainwashing propaganda. John Wick is like the only thing we have left. And how long before that's gone? I mean, I don't need to tell you how bad Hollywood is right now. The only thing we have left to influence young people to get interested in firearms, and why that's an important thing as an American citizen, to be a responsible gun owner, knows how to operate common firearms, are video games. And this lawsuit could very well be the final straw that scares companies out of making games with firearms in them. So we have a very serious culture war on our hands, and it's how we're going to lose the 2A if we're going to lose it. Because you can only pass along your values to your children. I'm trying to, do my best to be a young person into nerdy stuff, trying to be like, hey, I like this stuff, and I'm a responsible gun owner, and I'm a pretty darn good shot. We're starting to get in trouble. The last bastion is video games. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to kind of vent that out, throw that idea out there. Let me know what you think of that. Because I know it's pretty easy for some conservatives to hop on the video games are bad for you train, and I completely disagree. Let's see here. Where were we? Here we go. Yep, shoot it at high end 2011 and you'll get it. Found you a while ago by accident, but subscribed and look for you anytime I'm on YouTube, which is every day. Alan, I appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for contributing. And I'm so glad you've been enjoying the content. I'm grateful to have you here. I own a few but I'm not going into law enforcement where my life is on the line. I own an HVAC company, Skull. I like your attitude, Watch YouTube. I'm really digging what you're putting down. I appreciate you always answering my questions and your advice when I comment questions to you. It sets you apart from others in my book. I honestly do my best. If I ever do not respond to your comment, please do not take offense. I'm dealing with hundreds of comments a day, and I do my best to get to everybody. Honestly, my biggest problem, YouTube will stop showing me notifications for comments. If a thread goes too long, or honestly, if a comment is too long, I just won't even get a notification and I might miss it altogether. But I do my best to get back to everybody. I just try to be, the change that I want to see. I know that there have been a lot of times where I wish that I could ask somebody a question, just they won't get back to you. So I do my best. With that grammar, I can't help but not totally believe you. Yeah. Can you tell me about your experience using a DPM soft recoil system? Oh, yep, we talked about that. Absolutely. DPM is the way to go. I recently purchased a PDP Professional, which comes with the Acro 2.0 direct milled for the slide. What are your thoughts on the Acro? Thanks. I think the Acro is a great sight. I think now that it's been out for a while, people are starting to realize that it may not be as waterproof as they advertise. So like I'm almost in the camp now of when you get an Acro, put it in a cup of water to make sure it's waterproof. And if it's not, send it back to Aimpoint. Like that's where I'm at, but I do think it's fine. I've also seen problems of people's glass breaking out sometimes. So maybe some rare quality control issues there. I'm just kind of on the Holosun bandwagon now. It just, for the money, they're the best. And if you're going to have quality control issues anyways, might as well save money and, in my opinion, get the product that has more features. Do you think aftermarket gas pedals for polymer handguns worth the squeeze like the antimatter industry's wing? Another great question. I think it depends. I personally do not shoot with my support hand cranked that far forward that I could even use it. It's just not how I shoot. I have a nice, repeatable grip on the gun. That's why I like open guns with gas pedals, because the way I grip it, it's frame mounted and it's an actual pedal sticking off the gun and I can get true leverage off of it. for the antimatter's industry wing that goes on an X300 or QVO's ledge, right? I think they're great, well-made products. I love the direction they're moving in. Maybe just because I wear a medium-sized glove, I reaching my hand out there that far actually kind of breaks my master grip, and there's a gap between my two hands stretching out to get it. So it's not for me. And I would also genuinely be shocked if you took a talented shooter. We keep talking about Ben Steger, right? Let's take Ben Steger, give him a gun with the antimatter, put an antimatter industries wing on his Staccato XC, and then take it off and see what happens on target and with time. I would guess not a whole lot. That's just my 2 cents. I think some upgrades are worth it. That's one that I just personally think is kind of in the get good category. But that's just my philosophy. And there are other people that shoot differently, that do crank their wrist way forward and have great success. They're excellent shooters. I think that would be the person that product is probably for. Beretta has no Inox models on their website. They've been discontinued except for special editions, rare runs. Boo! Let's make noise and bring back Inox in a standard production SKU. I completely agree, but man, Beretta's been dropping the ball big time for a few years now. Pretty much post even Beretta Italy. Big yikes. I do think that Beretta just put out a run of Brigadiers, and I think some of those might have been Inox. I think they kind of have, new old stock. So I don't know, look around for those maybe. Convincing keyboard warriors, don't pay the bills, don't care what you believe. The web, not a classroom, nor my conducting business. Anything else? You know what? As long as you guys are keeping the debate friendly, I say keep going. You're getting pretty defensive over said keyboard warrior, LOL. The internet truly is a special place. Speaking facts. I just love that I'm sharing this crap with all of you. PX4 was my first gun. It's an amazing gun that's ugly. A lot of people say it's ugly. I honestly don't know how I feel. Once it starts to grow on me, it starts to look ugly again. So I don't know. PX4, a great gun though. I believe you, dude. I'm just effing with you. It's okay. Yeah. Allosaurus, I think I remember you from the last live. You're a bro. You're a real one. Dying to hear your thoughts on the 4311 trigger, that or the Johnny Glock's combat trigger for G48. Thanks. I would default to the combat. The 4311. So the combat has a little bit of take up and then has a rolling break, much like other striker guns, with a decently short reset. The 4311 has a lot of take up and then hits a wall, and then very little movement for the break and an insanely short reset. So you have that long take up, but then this very short travel and reset. It's just going to be a personal preference thing. I just think most people are going to prefer the combat. It's an amazing gun that's unconventionally badass and massively underappreciated for what, yeah. Do you have a stainless steel USP? I used to, and I got rid of it, and I kind of regret it. It was really dope. That old stainless that HK used to do that looked almost like a wrap. It was like a shiny, so good, and I miss it. Congrats, great channel. You deserve it. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate having you here. Glad you're a part of the community. I thought I was the only one out there that loved guns and anime. So happy I found your channel. Congrats on the 100K. First of many, I hope. Thank you. And yeah, there are dozens of us. I'm actually a late adopter to anime. I didn't start watching. Well, that's not true. I watched obviously like Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, like all the Toonami stuff when I was a kid, even WB4 Kids, right? With Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, that kind of stuff, Digimon. Didn't know it was anime. I didn't get into the actual, like, not to say that Dragon Ball is not S tier, but I didn't start getting into the actual real niche anime until I was in college. My best friend got me into it. And then, yeah, really enjoyed it. But yeah, it's honestly so good to find someone with that weird crossover. Grateful to have you here. Yeah, we'll have to talk anime sometime. Stop tempting us with expensive toys. JK, keep it up. Yeah. Just finished the first of your books on Kindle. Looking forward to the second. Are you still writing? First of all, so glad that you enjoyed Armed Instinct. Countdown to Dawn is my pride and joy. The sequel, it is so good. And it's rare that I say that about my own stuff. Countdown to Dawn is really good. So I always get excited whenever someone finishes Armed Instinct so that they could get to Countdown to Dawn because it's so amazing. Yes, I am still writing. I am working on my full-length, feature-length novel. and I'm just making it as good as I possibly can because I am hungry for a publishing deal. That's what I want. So I'm giving it absolutely everything I can. And that's been 100% of my focus. I'm doing the channel, and I'm focusing on making this full-length novel as good as possible. If I could go back in time, I would be writing more short novels on the side while working on it, because there's been quite the gap. But I am dead serious. This, like, my main goal for life is to be New York Times bestselling author. Not that I care about the New York Times, but at least in some way, shape, or form, a bestselling author. That's what I want for my life. So that's the YouTube channel is a great way for me to interact with you guys in the community. And I love you so much. And I love guns, and I love nerding out over them. And the being an author is my true dream. So yes, I'm still writing. So stoked. Let me know what you think of Countdown to Dawn when you're done with it, because it is so good. For those of you who are new around here and don't know, definitely go to one of the links in one of my videos, because I have 2 short novels on Amazon that are super dope, as referenced by my homie G over here, BR. You'll really enjoy them. Good gun action. I've heard you competed a lot when you were young with shotguns. Did you ever compete with pistols, or thought about getting into USPSA, IDPA, IPSC? So when I got out of shotguns, when I just got burned out on it, I did compete locally in USPSA and IPSC. And I loved the shooting portion of it. The game just wasn't for me, because, like, once you have fundamentals down, it's just about learning the game, and the game just wasn't for me. That being said, it has been years since I have shot competitively, and I'm starting to feel the itch to get back into it, especially since now I have higher quality gear. I think I could really have some fun with it. So yeah, might get back into it. Wear suspenders with a belt, and don't take off your jacket to carry with a suit. That's one way to do it. First book was awesome. Haven't read the second yet. Dude, Countdown to Dawn. I'm telling you, it is rare for me to really enjoy. It's like, you're very hypercritical of yourself. You are your own worst critic. Countdown to Dawn. I love it so much. I am really proud of it. Saw the face you made for the emissary. Thanks for the heads up. Those are the noises I'll make. Party like it's 1911. For a suit, purchase a tall length vest. It will come over the clips and double layer the gun from printing. That's also a possibility. And you know what? I'm just lazy. I'm just going to put on like a comfort concealment, strap it on there, crank down my dress belt, tuck it in, poof it out. I'm too lazy to do anything else. FJB, that's all. I was about to ask, is there anyone who doesn't disagree with at least that take? And unfortunately, there are. Water break, because talking is exhausting. And we're getting there. I've got some electrolyte water. Highly recommend Element electrolytes. If you're a LEO mill, Staccato gives a discount and more mags with the LEOs. Another great reason to go Staccato. Nightwood, love your content, and I hope you more success in the future. Could give any tips on starting a YouTube channel? I'm almost wondering if I should make a video on this. I don't want to suck up, because I'm already way behind on comments, guys. Thank you for being patient. I'm doing my best to get to everybody. But I will touch on this quickly. Don't be afraid to authentically be yourself. People are going to hate you no matter who you are. If you go out of your way to try to make everybody like you, you're just going to be completely milquetoast and fly under the radar. And I don't know, decide what you want your goal for the channel to be, right? Like, if you want to do honest reviews, know that you're picking the hardest thing. You're picking the hardest thing to do. I think a great one to do would be like Second Amendment news. I think that's a great way. That's why I'm going to start doing a few of those videos. I mean, shilling is also hard to get into, right? It's a lot of the shills actually come from the industry or have a history or connections in the industry. I was just a dude. I was a dude, the consumer that came out of nowhere. And that's one of the reasons I can be honest, is because all the friends that I'm making as an established, honest reviewer. As far as YouTube stuff goes, I mentioned do research on thumbnails. That's all I'm going to say. Do a lot of research on thumbnails. Do a lot of research on titles. If your video is not clickable, you're wasting your time on it. And that's really unfortunate. So you have to spin So if you have something you're passionate about that you want to do a video on that's not clickable, you have to spin it to be clickable. And that's really hard. Guys, it's so hard. Like I wanted my Samurai Edge video to get 100,000 views so bad. And it's rough stuff. But I would also say it all starts with the idea. So come up with the idea that's clickable, even like spinning maybe something you're passionate about to be clickable when it's still in the idea phase, and then do it. Other than that, lighting, audio, have a good quality microphone, have good quality lighting. My lighting kit is from Amazon. My microphone, all my microphones that I use, Amazon. My lav mics I did get Rode, just to have best quality for lavs. But yeah, so as long as you have those things, just go. My other thing is, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Just start doing stuff. The more you make videos, the better you will get. Don't try to make that first one perfect. Reddit hating you is the surest badge of honor in life. That's my view. Drop that chrome-plated sissy gun and get yourself a Glock. U.S. Marshals reference, everyone. That is top-notch reference. Thank you for that. I bought the soft captured recoil system, came with 4 different springs. How do I know which one to pick? Okay, so the one that comes with different springs is not the captured. The captured one is just like, you know, your typical captured recoil spring assembly. The one that came with 4 different springs. So you got the soft one. This is actually as good a time as any. I think I'm okay talking about this. I'll be kind of careful with my language. How to tune your DPM system or just recoil spring weights in general. 1, make sure your technique is squared away. If you are not squared away with technique, the spring that you're using doesn't matter. So once you get good, as we say, shoot a drill that requires you pull the trigger as fast as you can. Shoot a rapid fire drill as fast as you can. If your holes in the target are trending high, go with a heavier or longer spring. If your rounds are trending low, go with a lighter or shorter spring. Because if your rounds are going low, it's because the gun is dipping as it returns to battery, which is why it's going low as fast as you're pulling the trigger. And if they're high, it's because the gun isn't, going far enough on the return to battery. So that's what I recommend. I usually start heaviest and move lighter. Have you heard of the issues people are having with the Acro P2? I was planning on getting one for the G45 build. I'm starting, but man, I'm getting nervous. Also, thanks for everything you do. Yep, I touched on this a little bit earlier. I know I'm behind on comments, guys. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I get to everybody. But yeah, I've seen those issues too. Not being waterproof and sometimes glass blowing out. It seems to be very rare, but it's still happening, which is again why I'm just kind of on the HoloSun bandwagon right now. One of these days I'll buy myself a 2011, but I'm not sure the Para Black Ops double stack I got from my dad counts. I think it's pretty dope. I think that's really dope. May not be the most reliable, but I think it's super dope. The holy trinity of DASA 9mm semi-autos, Beretta 92, CZ75, and SIG P226. You can only have one for the rest of your life. Which is it? No Langdon or Cajun, stock out of the box only. Ooh, that's rough, because I would say Beretta if I could even just change like the hammer spring, right? Oh, by the way, speaking of P226, I wish I could play show and tell on live. I would do lives every single day if I could play show and tell. I want to show you guys the collection I just picked up from my local place. I gotta be careful with language on here. The dopest P226. So you guys know the SIG P226 Sport, the one with like the comp on the end of it that was like Masterworks shop, like German made 226. It's ultra dope. I picked up the Sport stock, which is that minus the comp. So it's a 226 beefed up. It has the tightest tolerances I've ever felt on a pistol, and it's all stainless. It is the dopest 226 ever. I can't wait to show it on the channel. I wish I could it's so close, guys. I could, but I can't. So anyways, to answer your question, I got sidetracked. It would be HKUSP. I would say CZ75. I would go Gunsmith Cats on that one. Cut Alive, man, if you get one bull armor, you're going to want a bunch more. Love this thing. I know. I'm the same way. I got that first 4.25 and I loved it so much. And it was probably the coolest part of my little YouTube journey here when Bull Armory reached out to me and was like, hey, we want to send you the Tomahawk. And then we want to send you an early production model of the new tack. Like that was so cool. So you better believe I'm going to keep sharing Bull Armory stuff. I'm developing a good relationship with them, and man, they are so on board with honesty and just making a better gun. And that is the philosophy that I'm here for. And they're fully aware I'm an honest channel. I'm going to share my real actual thoughts. And if that eventually burns a bridge, then so be it. My integrity is worth more than a pistol that is provided for the channel, because I have plenty of pistols. I don't need any more. Feel proud that you aren't popular on gun Reddit. I unsubscribed from Grand Theft subreddit after the 100th post, wanting to know what shorts he's wearing or his new workout routine. Yeah, Reddit's a special place. It seems the best people on Reddit are the lurkers. It's the people who post like 5,000 times a day that seem to hate me. And also nine times out of 10, they are active in Liberal Gun Owners or Socialist Rifle Association. I totally agree with everything you said about guns and culture. Culture predates politics and determines people's hearts and minds. That's why we've been losing. Keep it up. 100% agreed. Jay, I also like giving thumbs up. Isn't Dana Lash a two-way advocate and video game nerd too? Not only that, Mr. Jambo, she is also super into anime. Her boys got her into all that stuff. And at SHOT Show, I actually talked to her about anime for like 20 minutes. I didn't want to bother her. And I was just like, hey, just want to let you know, we've gone back and forth on Instagram about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure before. And she was like, oh my God, that was you. And then I talked to her for like 20 minutes and I'm like holding up the line. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I just meant to do a drive-by. But yeah, she's definitely into anime thanks to her boys. Thanks for your review. Thanks for your review on the Bulltac Pro. Have you had any experience with the 4.25 version? No, but I am going to be getting the EDC Pro, which is their new 4.25 TAC Pro with the aluminum frame. So stay tuned. It's refreshing to hear you rant about the DD and Activision lawsuit. Most gun tubers are old people who don't understand how important video games are to culture. Absolutely. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a video, probably going to title it How We Lose the 2A. I'm going to go into this. We need a younger person to get out there to truly talk about the impact that culture has on young people, especially about a topic like firearms. Right now, everything from TikTok to Instagram to Facebook to Snapchat, like I said, to dating apps, all anti-gun. They're being, and Hollywood, all anti-gun propaganda. Video games are the one holdout, and this is going to scare video games into dropping it altogether. I use a DPM system in my CZ-P10S, super dope, and I appreciate you being here and doing what you're doing for the community, Nightwood. Well, I'm grateful to have you here and be a part of the community. You are a part of this. So glad you're happy with your DPM system. I have 2 acros, and so far, so good. Yep, I haven't had problems with my acros either. So I've seen problems, haven't had problems. How do you like it on the P10S, Joseph? Yeah, Joseph, let him know if you have not already. The name of your books, please, Armed Instinct and Countdown to Dawn. You can go to the description of any of my YouTube videos, and my author page will be there. Same in my Instagram link tree. They'll be there as well. I noticed your neck veins pop when you shoot. Is this because you're gripping your gun super tight? Honestly, it's a bad habit. It's 100% a bad habit that I need to break. I'm too tense in my body, and I'm pretty good about it when I'm just shooting static. It's when I draw and shoot. Like if you ever see my neck straining, it's because I cut out the part where I drew the gun. Because when I draw, I'm trying to focus on keeping my shoulders static, and I draw the gun and I tense my neck up, and I need to drop that bad habit. So yeah, it's a bad habit that comes with gripping my gun tightly that I need to isolate and get rid of. I mean, it's one of those things we're all working on stuff as far as improving our shooting. I'm very good. You can always be better. And not only that, you can be good and regress or create bad habits. And my tense neck is my current bad habit. I've been actively tracking Inox Vertex on GB. You can find one every few months or so between 1 to 1.3. I wish they weren't so rare. I can't crank my support hand far enough to use a gas pedal either. Medium hands and arthritis. I didn't even think about arthritis. Good point. I'm sorry for trolling BTW. Dude, you're troll away. As long as you troll without being a douche nozzle, which you're good to go. All right. I agree with you on the... Again, I don't want to say keywords here that'll get me flagged. Activision lawsuit. I do think there's hope with Hollywood releasing 90s style action movies. As for games, I think it's starting to fade other than older IPs. Honestly, our salvation may be Japan. like Japan, there are gun otakus in Japan that love guns so much. I'm hoping that we see a resurgence in Japanese entertainment featuring firearms because, yeah, I mean, we're seeing video games. I mean, obviously it was a massive failure, but any nerds here, Forspoken was an absolute failure that did not feature firearms, but they're trying. They're certainly trying. As far as Hollywood releasing 90s style action movies, I'm not as optimistic as you are, but hopefully I'm wrong. Outside of Toonami, it was Cowboy Bebop. That was also on Toonami. Black Lagoon and Gunsmith Cats that got me interested in anime. Essentially, I came in through guns. I've known gun guys who came to firearms through anime. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, Cowboy Bebop, Black Lagoon, Gunsmith Cats, goated. Flat out goated for gun entertainment. And of course, I did that video again. Oh man, I was so bummed. It's probably the video I worked the hardest on. Top 5 gun animes. I have never worked harder on a video in my entire life. I couldn't even tell you how many hours I spent editing that video. One of my proudest videos. And of course, it just absolutely bombed, which super sucked. But there are a lot of great gun animes out there. Black Lagoon is not, if you're going to watch one, watch Black Lagoon right now. If you've never watched anime, watch Black Lagoon if you're a gun guy. Personal opinion for Dragon Ball, I think it fell off after Z, and I'm glad people enjoy what came after Z. I agree, it did fall off after Z, but also after Z, it had some epic moments. So if you're willing to brave a lot of the crap that came after Z, there are still some good moments to be seen in there. I think, in fact, some of the best moments, but I mean, Z is the absolute peak, right? It doesn't get better than that. Countdown to Dawn is the superior book. Armed Instinct is good, but Countdown builds on it and surpasses it. 100% agreed. I love Armed Instinct. I'm proud of it for the first thing I ever wrote and published. It's super good. Countdown to Dawn was just so proud of it. Thank you, Donkey. Appreciate the review. I need another anime for Gun Nuts vid. I know. I want to, but the other one I spent like, I don't even know, 40 hours on. And I don't want to say nobody watched it. I don't want to be disrespectful to those of you who did, but in comparison to other videos on my channel, it was 100% a passion project. Share the video around. Honestly, if we could get a resurgence of that vid and get some more views on it, 100% I'll do more vids like that. I actually have an idea to do a different spin on videos like that to maybe get more views in this niche. So I will try that. Stay tuned. I'm not completely done with that kind of stuff. I just need to pivot my approach to be geared more towards a larger audience. I didn't realize you were an author. I need to check out your stuff. What book should I read first? What kind of writing do you do? So I have 2 short novels out while I'm working on my first full-length novel, Armed Instinct and Countdown to Dawn, if you weren't here when I said that earlier. And yeah, it is action-packed. It is like, it's kind of violent, kind of gory, filled with action, and honestly fast-paced. When I'm reading a book, I hate when things get boring. So I try to keep the pacing. I mean, granted, you need some breaks from action, right? But I try to keep the pacing up there to keep you turning pages. I just wrote what I wanted to read, which is kind of like badass, almost post-apocalyptic, alternate United States sci-fi action. Very down-to-earth sci-fi action, though. It's dope. You'll like it. 2A and Liberty Bros need to take back culture. I am also a writer and will soon do my own YouTube content and media reviews to start, and will finish my own novel. Normalize 2A all day, every day. Keep me posted on what you're doing. I want to show up and support you. So like, don't be afraid. You're not bothering me. Like if you're on Instagram, reach out there. Let me know what you're doing because I want to help support you in any way that I can. Absolutely. Congrats, bro. Bought a T-Sauce double stack BR9 after seeing you shoot it. Loving it so far. That is truly a great value. I'm definitely a big fan. Hey, Brett, how are you, bruh? I'm doing great. We're at 100K. I'm doing pretty well right now. Thank you for asking. I hope you are doing fantastic as well. I probably need to work on my thumbnails, but I am lazy and don't like to edit. If you're lazy and you don't like to edit, you're fighting an uphill battle. It's just, you got to view it kind of like it's work. Got to say, bro, you are tier 1 of gun tubers, honest and intelligent, rooting for you always. Thank you so much, Bravo. You're making me blush and bringing a tear to my eye. I'm just so glad you've been enjoying the content. Thank you for being a part of the community. Congrats on 100K. I love your opinions. Are you looking to get into the Langdon Tactical offerings for review? So I reviewed the Langdon Tactical Beretta I was experimenting with thumbnails on it and did soy face. It was a mistake. The video did not do well. Also, to the guy who asked about YouTube advice earlier, don't be afraid to experiment with stuff and don't be afraid to fail. You don't know what's going to land. Soy face in the thumbnail, that didn't land. So I will be doing a follow-up review on that Beretta M9, kind of like a revisited with a different thumbnail to see if that works better. And I have a Langdon Tactical PX4 review in the works as we speak. From my understanding, you can't handle what's on live stream, but you can share pictures. Now that you mention it, I have seen people like, rate my GAT or whatever on lives. So yeah, tolerances and clearances, big difference. Yes, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Semantics, right? HK USP is correct answer. Absolutely. Bull, ew, to each their own, man. I have no problem if you don't love it because there are other people who are saying bull yum. I doubt you would ever burn a bridge with Bull Armory. They want to know any weaknesses. I 100% agree, man. Talk about a company that listens to the consumer. They are much like HoloSun is making the dots people want to buy. Bull Armory is making the blasters that people want to buy. As if they don't want a cheerleader. Brett is a good guy though, and wouldn't. Honestly, that's a fair point too, right? I mean, who's going to say no to a cheerleader? What are your thoughts on the guilty verdict? You know what? I don't want to get into crap right now. I am here to escape from the real world and engage with you guys. But I think any reasonable person could come to a reasonable conclusion from that. So I think you know how a lot of people are feeling right now. Have you tried Les Bear? My 2 Thunder Ranch guns shoot great. Dude, Les Bear, top notch. Those are guns that are so tight, you got to shoot them in. Like, those are one of the few guns you actually need to break in. And when they break in, we're talking lifelong guns. Les Bear is great. What's the origin of the name Nightwood? Someone asked me this a couple lives ago. So there is this really fringe, weird, creepy novel called The Nightwood. It's like a weird lesbian romance novel. And I always thought it was hilarious, especially like the word Nightwood, obviously like the opposite of Morningwood. And in college, I was playing Soul Calibur 4 with my best friend, and we created characters. And I made some insane character and called him the Nightwood. Then that became like my PSN ID and my Xbox Live gamer tag. And Nightwood kind of just stuck. It was unique. I hadn't seen anybody ever use that name before. So I just tacked guns onto it because I figured I could make my own brand out of it. And it would be memorable because it was different. It tested better than Morningwood guns. Exactly. But yeah, weird origin story, but thanks for asking. Love the DPM on a Comp G19. Thanks for the recommendation. I have one on the way for a P365X macro. I am so excited to test out the Radian Ramjet Afterburner for the P365. I already have the DPM kits waiting. The ones I shot at SHOT Show, the Radian Ramjet Afterburner on P365, so impressive. I would argue that it performs better than their Glock Afterburner. It's that good. And when I asked the Radian guys there, I'm like, are these OEM springs? I'm like, yeah, just OEM recoil spring assembly. And I'm like, imagine what we can do with a DPM system. So I'm so excited to test that out. He loves his P10 DPM super nice edition. Dope. Appreciate the feedback, just so we can all see what works. Soft springs for P365X. Can't wait till July when Radium drops. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, literally you were ahead of me before I was there. Dang, I think gun anime video was what originally got me into your channel. Honestly, I'm really glad to hear that. That actually makes me feel good. Like I said, I do want to keep doing content like that. I just need to be a little more tactical about how I market it so that I can get more viewership. What happened to your other live stream vid? Did it get taken down due to backlash from you spitting facts? I actually need to check. If it's down, I wasn't aware. Because I know that on one of mine, comments got disabled. Literally could not turn comments back on. It would not let me. So I'm going to investigate that after this. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I've been using mine with the second week of spring on my DPM for the P10S. Good to know. This channel rules. I know you were disappointed with the performance of your gun anime video, but that was my favorite. I hope you're proud of that on principle. It was S-tier GOAT status. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Like I said, I will keep doing content like that because, I mean, like I said, it's a passion project. I enjoy it. I just need to be smarter about marketing it. Hi, QT Pot Anthony. So Anthony is my favorite. Oh, how do I put this? He's my favorite LGBTQIA plus gun owner in the world. His pronoun is he, Zim. So he is one of my best friends, and I absolutely adore. He carries a pink Taurus curve daily. He wears like a jock strap and keeps it in there, and he is deadly with that. We're talking 5 feet. He can shoot like a 12-inch group with it. So Anthony, thank you for stopping by. You are GOAT status with the Taurus curve, hands down, fastest draw, like 3.5 seconds from the jock strap. Truly impressed. I'm a gun nut in Japan. I really enjoy your vids. Keep going, bro. Are you really? Dude, that's awesome. Send me some JoJo merch. Because I just have to like import all my stuff from eBay. Oh, when did this okay, thank God. Thank you so much, Kenji, for the $50 super chat. You are GOAT status because of that. Here's the 100K and a pack of energy drinks. Thank you, Kenji. You are always so great in the community. Offer really valuable comments. Always enjoy chatting with you down there. So thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting the live, and thank you for celebrating the 100K with me. You're one of the real ones. So thank you. Thank you so much for sticking with the channel all this time. Man, comments are rolling in. I love how many of you are here and interacting. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm just catching up on comments. Almost there. Almost there, I promise. But yeah, dude, I'm really sorry about the gun laws in Japan. Hopefully you can play with airsoft though. Bull hatchet versus P10C. It's going to be a personal preference thing. My personal preference is the bull hatchet. Do you play Call of Duty? Okay, I used to a lot. I used to be really, really into Call of Duty, starting with Modern Warfare and then Modern Warfare 2. And obviously like World at War, Black Ops 2. And then I just got burned out because I played so much. Basically, it was like high school and college. Played it all the time. I was really good at it too. I do not like what Call of Duty has become. That does not mean that I don't support it and I don't encourage others to play it. I just got so burned out. I mean, I would be embarrassed to tell you the amount of hours I played Call of Duty when I was a kid. I know you have a Samurai Edge build, but are you interested in the Berry version? I want to have that version for my next M9 build. Yes. The Samurai Edge, just Jill's base version, was like $2K to put together. The Barry Burton version would be even more. So yes, I would absolutely like to have it. My LTT build with the Jarvis comp is super similar, and I might actually pick up some lock grips with the red stars emblem like berries, just to call it like a semi-berry build, because it's honestly close enough since it's comped. So yeah, I think that would be super dope. Let me know if you end up doing it. You should also try to do an LTT P30 LEM review. I'm really interested in that gun. Local shop had one used, and I slept on it, and it got away from me. So maybe sometime in the future, I would love to do that. Would you carry a gun that fails to feed when your wife shoots it? It never fails for me. Literally hundreds of rounds without an issue, but she, moderately experienced, can't get through a magazine. I would not carry that. Who's to say that in your time of need, you're not going to be injured or on your back or, who knows, and you can't get a perfect grip on it. I want a gun that is going to cycle in weaker hands as well, because you never know. You might be bleeding out through your other arm and your grip is weaker. I want that thing to cycle. So if a gun does not run in my wife's hands, I would not even trust it for myself. Maybe look into respringing it even. It could just be as simple as that. That's my personal opinion. Your mileage may vary. Shout out from Florida. All the best peeps are from Florida, at least the ones with the best stories. I'm late. It's okay, man. I'm glad that you were able to make it, Florida Sheepdog. Florida Sheepdog sent me the T-Rex arm sidecar for review. So another behind-the-scenes supporter. So grateful to have you as a part of the community, man. I hope you're doing well. I hope life's been good to you recently, because you deserve the best. Thoughts on T-Rex arms Raptor? I'm not really going to comment on it until I can try it for myself, but looks dope. FYI, I just checked Nightwood live videos. There are 3 up, including this one. Yeah, there should be 4. How long did it take you to adjust to a 1911 grip angle after shooting a G19? When I present, it is always too high. Funny, I was the other way around. I had to adjust to a Glock grip angle. I started on 1911s. So that's why it is so natural for me. And then I decided that I was going to force myself to get good with a Glock. When I first started shooting Glocks when I was 14, I was terrible with them because I'd only really shot 1911s for the most part. And, well, I mean, 1911s, 226, USPs, that kind of stuff. But then I decided I was going to force myself to get good with a Glock. So I literally shot Glocks until I was good with it. Now it takes me, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 reps switching between the two to get it tuned into muscle memory so that I don't have to think about it. Samurai Edge video is how I found your channel. Again, that's great to hear. I'm so glad that the, top 5 gun anime videos and the Samurai Edge video brought so many of you here. Because I love that. I love that crossover. So gun cross, video game and anime stuff. So thanks for the feedback. Thanks for letting me know. I'm glad that the video was entertaining to at least some of you. Do you have a big holster collection, or do you have a do-it-all holster like OWB MSP holster? Man, so I've, I always joke about my age being kind of ambiguous. I am older than I look. I've gone through some, and I also started carrying before I needed permission to do it, I guess would be the way to word that. So I went through a lot of holsters. Now I basically, since I'm mostly carrying 2011s and double stack 1911s, I've got like one without a weapon light, one with an X300. And those are the 2 that I run almost all the time. I also have like a Beretta 92 with X300, Glock 17 with X300, and I'll use those. I think it's better to have a dedicated holster because they typically conceal better and they work better. They fit better. But when I'm reviewing pistols, I'm running the tier 1 concealed MSP. I'm tossing an X300 on it and just running that because I could not keep dropping like $200 on tier 1 concealed holsters for every gun I was getting. But I do recommend, once you decide, like maybe the 1 or 3, I don't know. Some people do carry rotations. I understand it. I used to do it. I don't really do it anymore. But I think that once you decide the main guns you're going to carry, get dedicated holsters for them. And then if there are guns you want to play with, you can get one of those universal floodlights or MSPs. The PDP Pro with long stroke guide rod and a comp is actually a really nice shooter and snap free. That's the thing with the PDP. I was actually in the middle of a PDP review, and then somebody literally, again, I need to be careful with phrasing, took it off my hands at the range. They wanted it so bad, and I wasn't going to say no. I figured I could just get another PDP Pro down the line. So I might do maybe not a review, but my thoughts on the PDP Pro video, just as kind of like a quasi review, because I do not like the PDP in its factory configuration, but I do like it once you start adding stuff to it to get rid of that snap. Congrats on 100K, 500 next. Yeah. Hope, fingers crossed that 100K is the rocket ship taking off. Any Dan Wesson in the collection? Yes, I have a specialist, a stainless specialist in 45. It is currently my only single stack 1911, and I adore it. Believe it or not, just bought Gerson MC14T tip up 380. Oh, you got one of the tip up 380s. How you liking that? Because it certainly looks interesting. Do you think you would ever review a Zafiri Precision threadless comp for the 365? Possibly. Anything is on the table if there's enough demand for it. Or if a company's like, hey, do you want to review this? And I'm like, I'll crap on it if it's bad, and they still send it to me, I'll do it. But I'm not in the market to purchase one for myself right now. So if, like, I don't know, 20 of you are like, yeah, we want to see that, then I'll do it. Collector Design Works is where I got the comp for the Berry V1, as well as the grips and the mag base plates. Yep, that's where I got my grips, and which, by the way, are like unobtainium, and the rear sight, the Samurai Edge rear sight as well. Great guy. I don't know how he holds that together by himself. Thoughts on the P320 in 2024? Do you trust SIG has fixed all the issues? Awesome channel. Love your reviews. Glad you're enjoying the reviews, man. Thank you for being a part of the community. I would get almost any other striker gun before I'd get a P320 personally. As far as fixing all the issues, I think they're drop safe. I just think that if you get a gun that's on an extreme end of the quality control spectrum, it can potentially be dangerous as far as either out of battery detonation or, you bump it and something could happen. That being said, I think the vast majority of P320s are squared away. I just do not personally like them. I don't have anything against people who enjoy them. So many people are shooting X5s in competition. I think that's great. I'm just personally not a fan. And I mean, if you're interested, I could articulate what I don't like about them. But I think objectively speaking, they are decent. I just typically don't recommend them. Thoughts on how long was it before I took a sip of water? An hour and 40 minutes before a sip. I'm going to have to go back in my other lives and see what my previous record was. Thoughts on carrying a Shield Plus for EDC, but Glock for range? Will grip angles matter? I would just recommend doing reps. Do dry fire reps drawing the pistol, whatever you're carrying or using that day. If you're carrying a Shield Plus and you're running a Glock at the range, just make sure you do reps with the Shield Plus before that might be the next thing that you're going to be drawing and your life is depending on it. I would just do reps. Be careful and don't blast yourself when doing them. You mentioned in an earlier video about making a video from someone going from striker fire to hammer fire. Is that available? Yeah. Again, at the time, I thought there would be more demand for that, and there wasn't. But now that the channel's taking off, people are seeing. I think that was in my Staccato XC video. There has been demand for that, and that is on my list of videos to do. 100%. So yeah, good job bringing that up. Definitely a video to look forward to. I need to get the Palmetto State Armory Micro Dagger video out, Johnny Glock's 4311 video out, PX4 Storm video out. I have the Bull Armory EDC Pro en route. That honestly, that could show up in a week, and that could show up in 8 weeks. I don't know. And then my Stealth Arms Platypus only has about 1 week left on the lead time. So I would honestly prefer to be making videos like that. I'm just in the hole on product reviews, and I'm trying to dig myself out of it so I can go back to making those kind of videos because I honestly prefer them. I think they're more valuable to people as well. Congratulations on 100K. Talked about that. Congrats on 100K. You're one of my faves. I'm looking forward to the LTT PX4 review. Also, my birthday is next month, and I'm on the hunt for either a Bull Tomahawk ported or a Shadow Systems XR920P. First of all, happy early birthday. Seriously, awesome making it another year, man. That's harder than a lot of people realize. So congratulations. Thanks for being here for another year. You'll be happy with either one of those. If you have an issue with the Shadow Systems, which occasionally happens, send it back. They'll fix you up, but both shoot great. I obviously have a personal preference towards the Bull Tomahawk. It's just harder to find. But I'm so glad you've been enjoying the channel. Super stoked to do that PX4 review. And happy early birthday again. Forgot to mention, I did end up with the Chrome Rival S for competition. You see my eyes light up. Been running it, and it's been perfect, thankfully. Love a hard chrome finish. More guns need to adopt it. I said no to the first one of those that came into my local shop because I was a little tight on cash for the month. And it's been one of my greatest regrets. So I'm jelly. I got a jelly belly. I'm so glad that it's been running great for you, though. I heard that the first run of those had some issues. So glad yours is running great. That's definitely one I want to get for the channel, even though Canic hates me. My dream piece is a Bull SAS TAC 2 4.25, done all the way up by DSC Gunworks. That'd be super dope. Frame dimples and all. Yeah, he is a G, 100%. They do really great work. I also have a subscriber that got a Bull Armory done up by Nighthawk that turned out super cool. So I might send one of mine off to Nighthawk one of these days. I'm running the TX Arms Raptor, and because of it, I can now carry a full-size gun. Excuse me, a full-size gun with a Streamlight TLR1, and I'm only 5'8", 160 for what it's worth. All right, might have to try one now. I think you might have sold me on it because we're pretty close to the same size. Are you open to reviewing a subscriber's gun? Yes, just it's one of those things. So it's kind of a sticky situation, right? Because I want to be respectful of your property. And it's like, obviously I take better care of other people's stuff than I do of my own stuff. What I'm mostly talking about is it being gone for a while. Because I had one person reach out that was local that wanted to loan me something for review. And I was like, just heads up, I'm probably going to need this for like a couple of weeks. And he was like, oh, well, I was thinking like maybe like 1 or 2 days. And I'm like, man, you have no idea how production works, especially like I'm one dude by myself. So I would say I'm hesitantly open. I just want to make sure everybody is comfortable. What's the longest you can go on a P365 build? What do you mean by the longest you can go? Do you mean like longest it will last, or longest you can make the barrel? Or sorry, I wish I could decipher that better. But looks like I'm starting to get caught up on comments. So let me know what you mean by that. How likely is it that a sear malfunctions or breaks in a hammer-fired gun? Some guns have minimal sear notch engagement for a crisp break. We don't really see it happen very often, right? Unless it's Gunsmithed at home by Bubba. It'd have to be an insanely high round count on something that had been tuned. I wouldn't be too worried about it for the most part, though. Looking to purchase a Bull Armory TAC Pro, but not sure on the 4.25 or the 5. Would you think the 5 would be too much for CCW? For most people, yeah. I'm just going to be honest. I think it's going to be too much for most people. If you're planning on running like an X300 on it anyways, then there's no reason not to take the extra barrel length. But my blanket recommendation is if you plan on shoving it in your pants, probably the 4.25, unless you are used to carrying like a Glock 34 or something. I sold my P320 and got an HK USP last month. HK P2000 is my main carry gun and another sleeper like the PX4. It really is. The only reason the P2000 never caught on is because it doesn't look as cool as the USP. What is your Holy Grail pistol, or do you already have it? No, I do have a Holy Grail pistol, and I may never have it. It is Mateba Unica 6, probably in 44 Magnum. I was lucky enough. I actually have a friend who works at a local range, and someone brought one in on consignment. It was really beat up, which was unfortunate, but I got to hold one, and that was a dream come true. So I haven't seen him on here, so he's probably working today. But dude, if you're watching this, thank you. If you're watching this back recording, thank you so much for letting me know that Mateba was in. It was a dream to hold it. But yeah, Mateba Unica 6 auto revolver and 44 Magnum is my Grail pistol. If you're thinking that's not a pistol, that's a revolver, my other Holy Grail pistol is unfortunately an NFA item, and it is a Beretta 92R, or is it 93R? The burst fire Beretta. That is, I would EDC that. I would 100% EDC that. In fact, I think that would have been the future of pistols had the, Gun Control Act and the Hughes Amendment and the, what was it? So it was NFA 1, NFA 2, GCA. If all those laws hadn't essentially outlawed what are now class 3 NFA items, that would have been the future. Think about what people are doing with compensators and how flat guns are shooting. And imagine literally EDCing a gun with like a 2-round burst or a 3-round burst that shot that flat. Unreal. But yeah, 93R, I would carry that every day. That is my Holy Grail pistol. VP9 or PDP? Ooh, that's tough. I might get roasted for this, but I have a preference for the VP9. P365 series is the only SF new SIG worth getting. I agree. P365 series is a Striker Fire, is the only Striker Fire SIG worth getting, in my opinion, which that's all it is an opinion. VP9 been going on sale for under 500 once a week lately. I'd go with that. Yep. Looking forward to the Platypus. Are they giving you a ported version? I don't think they're making a ported version, so no, not getting a ported version, but I did snag the serial number Nightwood, which is super dope. So I would also, I mentioned earlier, I wanted to have guests on these lives. I want to get Tim from Stealth Arms on here, 100%. Do you play Helldivers 2? It would be cool to play with you. No, you know what? I got so far behind on games. This year, I sunk 200 hours into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm now playing Stellar Blade. I had to skip Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, so I need to circle back around to that. So I've been desperately trying to catch up on game releases that I had to skip Helldivers 2, and I figured that I'd be okay. because by the time I am ready to jump into it, there will be so many more enemies and levels and vehicles and weapons and stuff like that. So I do plan on playing it someday, but unfortunately I do not play it now. Otherwise I would 100% play it with you. I have to run, but congrats on 100K. Thanks for the live streams and thanks for the great content. If you're not already gone, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for contributing. You are a big part of this community. I really appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your contributions and your candor. So take care. I'm glad that you were able to make it. When bull ported shooting from retention test. Yeah. So I want to actually do a follow-up video shooting different ported guns with different ammo with a banana over the top of them, just to see how different companies' ports react without shredding my arm again. Good times. Literally just ordered it 5 hours ago. We'll let you know how it is. I have a Gerson Beretta 93 clone already, just like a Beretta, but 200 to 180 cheaper. Pop-up barrel will help with hand issues. You know, I think a lot of people were really sleeping on the tip barrels for that exact reason. Yeah, let me know how that works for you, because, you know, other people who have hand issues, I'd like to be able to recommend something to them. So definitely keep me posted, and I really hope I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's good because it looks really cool. I'll have to check out the custom Nighthawk stuff. Absolutely. Do you have any Bull Armory 45 ACP? I do not, but I would like to eventually get a single stack 45. Like, obviously I'm big into the double stack 9mm stuff right now, so it's not a priority, but I'd eventually like to get one. Are Rock Islands worth it to upgrade? Rock Islands are great. First of all, I love the people from the Philippines. Philippines is so dope, and they make great guns. Just know that the Rock Islands are not completely in spec with other double stack 1911s. So just know that you're kind of getting something that is borderline proprietary. My recommendation would be to get something probably different, but just know that if you decide to get a Rock Island, you'll likely enjoy it. You know what? A lot of people make a lot of guns, and I like them all. But you know what? You're entitled to that opinion. I just don't necessarily agree with you, but that doesn't mean we have to hate each other. Fictional question. Which firearm do you think Dio Brando, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, would use? That is a crazy fictional question, because if ever a person did not need a firearm, it would be him. But I feel like it would have to be, oh man, what's something that's kind of douchey? I feel like he would have like a cartel, like a stupid gun that was all cartelified. Oh man, kind of catching me on the spot. Let me think about that. Let me know what you think he would use, because I'm going to think about that. I want a Beretta 93R, but I want to make it the Auto 9 from the original RoboCop. Dude, RoboCop's one of my favorite movies of all time. In fact, I have the Blu-ray. I think it's like over here. RoboCop's one of my favorite, not just movies, but favorite things of all time. I watch it a little too frequently. Have you shot the Apollo 11 4.25? Some buddies of mine prefer it to the Prodigy. I have not yet, but there's definitely been demand for me to get one. Please make a recommendation on a below 1K double stack 2011, then compare it with a Bull. That's really easy. Either the TSOS or the Mac 9DS. And compared to the Bull is better, but that doesn't mean that the TSOS or the Mac are not great budget options. I'm just a buy once, cry once kind of guy, and Bull Armory blows them out of the water. Do you plan on reviewing the T1C APX holster? Curious if it's actually worth getting. Currently carry Axis Elite. Okay, I'm seeing so much demand for this, I'm thinking I should probably order one and review it. So before this live, it was a maybe. Now seeing the demand in this live, it's going to be a probably. It's just expensive. Ooh. Business expense. Oracle Arms 2311 Compact Pro on your order test list. Yeah, they didn't want to send me one. They wanted me to buy one. And it was one I was interested in testing, but not interested in buying. So we will see. I definitely would like to share it with you guys. I'm open to being surprised by it. It shot okay at SHOT Show. I think it's an interesting idea. Just stopping in to say congrats on the success. Keep up the hard work, and I'll be sure to get you some fun new stuff to check out soon. Oh, Josh. Yeah, man, definitely appreciate you. Man, talk about completely turning my perspective around. I'm grateful that we bumped into each other. You guys are completely knocking it out of the park and just hands down making the best stuff, period. As far as I'm concerned, all the other companies are light years behind you. I gravitate towards Israeli companies. I love Bull and IWI. They make cool stuff. Like, you got to admit, they make cool stuff. What do we got? Agent Michael Scorn. Congrats on 100K. When did you send this? I just want to make sure I didn't miss it. Oh, literally right now. Congrats on 100K. We'll get around to book 2 soon. Got to go. Give me an anime to try. Enjoyed Naruto, Avatar, FMA, DBZ. Kinda a newbie. Oh, man. Go off the top of my head. Try Code Geass. I mean, those everything that you've mentioned is like kind of normie. Code Geass might bring you over from normie land and into more weeb territory. If you want to stay more in normie land, Death Note is kind of like one that is frequently recommended that is pretty normie. If you haven't watched Cowboy Bebop, start with that one. Start with Cowboy Bebop. But if you... Oh, wait, I'm looking at your list. Have you not watched Black Lagoon? If you haven't watched Black Lagoon, go watch Black Lagoon. If you haven't watched Cowboy Bebop, go watch Cowboy Bebop. If you want to be converted into being a weeb, watch Code Geass. But you have a really good list going there. Like, you've watched some of the better things. Are any Turkish 2011 aside from Mac and T-Sauce under your radar? No. To be honest, no. I heard Ermox has a new 2011. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Any spring, it's one of those things where the more you create content, the less you kind of consume it. I used to be on top of all of this stuff, but now I'm so busy kind of creating stuff that I find myself falling behind on the latest stuff. So that's why I'm like so busy making stuff that I kind of leave it to you guys to, like, I'll see someone mention something and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'll give that a shot. Sam, very much appreciate the super chat. All you guys who are super chatting, you guys are goats. Really appreciate you. Appreciate the support on the channel. It's one of those things where sometimes I'm like, man, like, should I keep doing this? Like, are people enjoying this? And then I do a live like this, and seeing you guys enjoy it so much definitely motivates me to continue improving the channel and continue moving forward. So thanks muchly, my friends. My gun budget has been extremely cut since I have to replace a tooth. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Guess I'll just have to dry fire more. My gun budget has been extremely cut because I'm about to get a new car. I've been driving a 2015 Grand Cherokee forever, and I never, ever want a Jeep ever again in my life because I've literally had nothing but problems. So I'll be picking up a 4Runner soon. And because of that, can't really buy very many guns right now. Have you tried the Hollow Sun lights? I bought one for my daughter and she prefers it on her MR920 over the Surefire. Actually, I have not tried Hollow Sun lights. It's one of those things. I bought a bunch of Surefire X300s when I was getting into lights, and I haven't really bought lights since. So I have not gotten into that. I'm open to trying Hollow Sun lights though. Code Geass is goated. Absolutely. If you know, you know. Another thing about Hollow Sun lights, like all of my holsters that I've invested in are for X300s. So like, that's why I'm hesitant to adopt a new, like, even when mod lights became popular, I'm like, oh, all my holsters are for X300s. So I just want to bring this up again. Code Geass is goated because it is. Can I bullet CZ is my favorite? Good to know. Like hearing other people's perspectives. Based comment about 3 minutes ago disappeared. If a comment disappeared, just know that it was not me. It was YouTube. I run a First Amendment zone here. This is a free speech zone, and you can say stuff that I disagree with, and I will leave it unless it is like nasty. So just know that if a comment was removed, it was not me. Hollow Sun lights noose. Okay, well, might have to try one then. Just bought a Subaru Forester Wilderness as the new family vehicle, so had to tone down the gun buy. Yep. Yeah. Welcome to real life, I guess. Shadow Systems XR920p review. Maybe. We can change that. I'll add you to the list for the PID HC. They fit a TLR1 holster if you have one. I do not have a TLR1 holster, but you know I am always down to run and test and review new stuff. So even if it doesn't fit in a holster, I'll definitely review it and share it with everyone. If nobody knows, Josh is from Hollow Sun, and he is super awesome and super based, and really is a huge reason for why I kind of left other red dot companies behind, because just seeing behind the scenes and how much they absolutely care about putting the best technology into the hands of the American public. I mean, and making it accessible. I don't know how you beat that mission. I mean, like I've said a million times before, 507 comp just default goes on every single pistol that I have. Congrats to make it to 100K. Thank you so much, man. One of my favorite firearm channels. Congrats. Thank you, Ray. I'm so glad that you've been enjoying the channel. Thank you for being a part of the community, and definitely looking forward to making some more videos and even bigger and better things on the horizon. Do you plan on doing any more anime related gun videos? Absolutely. Yeah. We were talking about that a little earlier. Definitely going to do more of that. Just all of my anime gun videos kind of bomb. It gets low viewership. So I need to market them a little differently, maybe different thumbnails, titles, that kind of stuff. But that kind of stuff is a passion project for me. So definitely expect more. I'm just catching up on product reviews right now. I do like your 2011 content. I'm glad, because 2011s are probably my favorite category of pistols. Loving my S2C with SA conversion. Should have been this way from the factory. Crispy AF. Good to hear. Do you prefer all black finish? Do you have any silver finish guns? Actually, I prefer silver finishes. I really do. I mentioned earlier, I got a P226 that is super rare. You know, it's a sport stock if you want to look it up. It has the dopest silver finish on it. I love flashy guns. That being said, like if I'm getting a carry gun, it's probably going to be all black. But like as far as guns that I enjoy, I love silver finished guns. I'd say my collection's probably 50-50. Josh, you're getting lots of love in the comments, my friend. Have you seen the drop test done on Staccato XC? Basically dropped the XC from shoulder height and the gun fired. Any take on this? Yes. So I addressed this 2 hours ago. I do not expect you to go back and look for it. So I will quickly address it again. Let me just take a quick swig. So short version, Series 70 1911s have always been like this. It's the whole reason they made the Series 80 1911s. So if you don't know, on a Series 70, it has an amazing trigger, and you essentially have the firing pin there. And when you drop it barrel first at, I forget the exact angle, like a 35-degree angle, whatever, it hits on the top corner of the barrel. The firing pin will move forward, hit the primer, kabang, it'll go off. The Series 70 has always been like this. They made the Series 80 that had a firing pin block or stop in it. So when you start pulling the trigger, it moves down and boom, it'll fire. This is oversimplified. Don't tear me apart over semantics or technicalities. But it made the trigger kind of gritty and heavier and crappy. So people decided to live with it not being drop safe only at that angle, because if it goes off when it drops, the bullet's going into the ground. And sure, you have to deal with frag from the ground, the jacket, the bullet, all that kind of stuff. But it's not like the bullet's going to go flying a mile and kill, you know, like some poor 6-year-old through her bedroom window. So people decided to basically live with Series 70 for the better trigger. I just think that so many people have kind of joined this enthusiast community in the gun space in the last 5 to 10 years that they genuinely didn't know about it. And I don't think Staccato was going to just like go out of their way to tell people like, oh, by the way, Series 70 is not drop safe on the barrel. To me, the spooky thing about Steger's XC is that it went off from like a 5-foot drop or a 6-foot drop or whatever. Because when they were testing the Series 70, they were dropping it from higher than that to get it to go off. So if you don't know, heavier spring and a titanium firing pin will typically solve that problem. And it's my opinion, at the Staccato XC price point, it should come with that. But it's been a reality that I've always known about, because I've been shooting 1911s since, I'm not even making this up, since I was like 5 years old. So something that I've always been aware of from listening to my wizened elders who taught me everything that I know. Hollow Sun is dope. Changed the game for sure. 100% agreed. Ahoy neighbor, congrats on the 100K. I feel so far behind now. LOL. Dude, keep going. Keep going. Like, I got stuck subscriber count so many times. YouTube is so hard, and YouTube is so harsh, not just in our space, but on everybody. And then you get into our space and it's like near impossible, but keep going. Try to make every video a little better than the last one. And the more videos you make, the better it's going to get, my dude. I definitely trust and believe in you. Keep with it. To me, it's just a part of a culture war. We need more people out there normalizing the two-way, normalizing gun ownership. So, and do not play the comparison game. I could sit here and compare myself to Demolition Ranch and just feel like an absolute piece of garbage. So just focus on your path, put on blinders, and you're going to get there. You're going to get there. Have you seen the Streamlight TLR7 XHL? Yeah, I have. Looks like it's a little shorter than the TLR1, like it would fit flush with the G17. Just curious if you have any intel. I do not have intel, but I am going to get one as soon as possible. As soon as they hit. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to sell me one. I have a buddy who was a Streamlight rep. He still might be. I'm not sure. I should reach out to him, see if he can get me one. But if not, I will be buying one and reviewing it, because I think that even though I'm sure battery life for full output is going to be trash, it will probably be pretty decent for concealed carry. So it definitely has my attention. Opinion on the CZ Shadow Compact. I think that it's really cool. I think that it's lightweight and a little snappy. And it also does not have a firing pin block. I would like to see drop tests on that to see at what angles it'll go off. That's my personal opinion. I would love to see a Helsing vid. Yeah, Helsing did make it into the montage of my top 5 gun anime videos, because who doesn't like a 1911 chambered in 454 Casull? Do you think shooting comped guns from retention without ear pro would be worse on the ears than non-comped? I think that all guns are loud, and shooting any gun without ear pro is going to be a bad time. And it will cause temporary hearing damage, right? And it also will cause permanent hearing damage. It's just a reality of shooting guns. It will not make you deaf. It probably won't give you tinnitus just from one time shooting it defensively from retention. But just know that you shoot any gun without ear pro, it's going to be loud unless it has a can on it, which I don't think many people are concealed carrying or using defensive pistols with cans on them. So would it be worse on the ears? I'd be surprised if it would make much of a difference. I think the benefits you get from a comped gun, as long as you vet it for reliability, are worth it. Get back to work unless your job sucks, in which case stay here. Brett, what's up, brother? What is up, my dude? Glad to have you here. Question, man, have you tried the Stealth Arms Platypus? Answer, my brother. I got like 1 week left on my lead time for my Platypus, and I cannot wait any longer. I am desperate to get my hands on it. Doesn't a 1911 being a Series 80 interfere with some optic cuts? Yeah, it can. Hey man, how you doing? Any chance you're reviewing CZ Shadow 2 Compact, optic ready? Thanks. I was going to because there was demand for it. Then demand just kind of like went off a cliff. I don't know what happened. I'm not saying it's impossible. If I run across a used one, I'll probably pick one up. I just can't see myself dropping like 13 hundo for a review that I'm not 100% confident would get a lot of views. I shot one at SHOT, definitely got to shoot it. It's a nice pistol. But if I find a used one, 100%. Next buy will be SS Rossi Circuit Judge, and we'll swap out with a Boyd's custom stock, shiny and sweet. I have wanted a Circuit Judge forever, like in 44 Magnum especially, but that'll be a fun gun. I'm excited for you. Thoughts on any of the new Olight sights and lights? Yes, I do have thoughts on those. I couldn't even, I'd run out of fingers if I tried to count how many times Olight reached out trying to send me something. I think Olights are fine. I personally would not run one. Hey, Fit Magic, how's it going, brother? Are you a Space Dandy fan? I have watched Space Dandy. It is not like my favorite of all time, not even in my top 10, but I did enjoy it. A couple of the episodes got really weird. My favorite is the like high school dance, high school musical episode. That is one of my favorite episodes of anything ever. But yeah, I've watched Space Dandy. Yeah, if you want, your making isn't super vanilla, YouTube will not endorse you. It's true. Yeah, it's true. Well, here's the thing, niching down can be a good thing, but I'm going to agree and disagree with that, right? Because on one hand, if you're making something vanilla flavored, the algorithm is going to scoop it up with the other vanilla flavored stuff. But on the other hand, you can kind of make a name for yourself being different, being authentically yourself. So I think like anything else, there's no black and white. It's a gray area. I mean, I still carry my Staccato CS appendix. I think you're more likely to get an ND with a striker fired gun appendix carry than a 2011 getting dropped barrel first. And I think that's sound logic. I know most tend to dog on Olight for some decent reasons, but if you are unawares, they now make a pistol red dot. Very much aware. I really should have said yes when they reached out and then destroyed it. Any opinion on Kimber KD S9 rail? So I shot it at SHOT Show. It is really snappy, like surprisingly snappy. And unless you are a Kimber guy, I would go somewhere else. But if you are a Kimber guy, then you're probably going to like it. If you aren't a Kimber guy already, I would move in another direction personally. More reviews of PCCs, not in the near future, but definitely in the future sometime. Right now, man, I'm eyeball deep in pistols. Also going to be doing long gun content too. I've got, again, I wish I could play show and tell with you guys on the live and hold stuff up. I need to take pictures of my stuff and bring up the pictures because I have some stuff that I definitely want to cover. It's bead right now. I don't know what that means. You should do a video on the Beretta 92 FS and incorporate Lethal Weapon Die Hard Terminator. Also, I'd love to see stuff on the Smith & Wesson 5906. Yeah, I don't have a 5906, but I need to get one because that defines an era. But yeah, definitely. I mean, the Beretta, are you kidding me? It's great. Oh, it's dead right now. I don't know what is dead right now. I'm sure that was from several comments ago, but I already forgot. I keep my can on my FNX 45, but it's my nightstand gun, so probably better for indoor use if needed. Yeah, I mean, I completely promote using cans on home defense guns. My home defense go-to is a 300 Blackout with soups in it, and I have a can on it just to take the crack out. As I want to get one, but the holster game is off with the Platy. What would you recommend for a holster? I mean, my default is I just toss an X300 on it and put it in like the tier 1 concealed MSP holster. And I would be interested to see how it fits Staccato holster. So when I get one, I will let you know how it goes. I'm thinking about getting a CZ75 SP01 for carry. Any opinion on those? Yeah, it's super dope and you totally should. Just be aware I'm sure people will disagree with me. I think it can be on the heavier side for people who aren't used to it. So just be aware of that. Dude, don't ever play poker. Your face gives you away. Yeah, I know it's a problem. My face always gives me away. How would you drop test a gun on concrete? Is there any other way? Olight, dishonest trash company. I'll say it for you, Brett. You said it, not me. I have an Olight, which I don't use as the battery would drain over time unused. Yeah, I have an Olight that was a gift, and I use that as like my little searching light, my backyard going out at night when I don't want to, blind neighbors with my floods. Yeah, I think that Olights can be interesting. Never saw the point of Olight. I'm poor, but I've never been so poor. A Streamlight was too expensive. Yeah. Although with Josh talking up his Hollow Sun lights, there might be another option there. I haven't tried them personally, but I'm interested in them. Olight is for MFs on Amazon that list their search results price lowest first. Yeah, Olights are also people, no shade, because I totally respect it, people with affiliate links for Amazon. Favorite fiction firearm. Man, you guys have these awesome questions that I feel like you need to like Joe Biden give me these questions in advance so I can have the exact perfect answer. I'm going to take a sip of water and stall. Fiction fire. Okay. Best like firearm that does not exist in real life that is a fictional gun, or favorite firearm that has been used in fiction. Does that sound silly when I take a sip? Is it like glug, 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 glug? I'm sure the microphone's picking it up. Favorite fiction firearm. Man, I'm still trying. I'm trying to think. Because I'm like going through like games, right? Like Metal Gear, like most of those guns are real. Like from the anime Psycho Pass, those are the Dominators are super dope, but it's also kind of like they can be deactivated, like it won't let you shoot somebody, and I'm not into that. But the Dominator is pretty cool. Oh wait, hold on. In Minority Report, the like non-lethal gun that he and then he shoots, like charges up and then shoots. That's pretty cool. I'm into that. Short answer, I'm going to say the original Magnum from Halo, just to answer this to get to the next comment. You think Radian will make Ramjet Afterburner for G43X, G48? Thanks. I know they will. 100%. Not anytime soon, but it's in the works. Have you tried the new Direct Strike Magnet Reflex sight? No, but I've seen it. And I will, I don't know. I'm sure I'll eventually try it. People are saying that it works. I'll believe it when I see it with my own two eyes. Thoughts on the Tier 1 APX holster? Lots of people have been asking about this. Guys, I'm going to have to order one now. Like, I've had like 10 people ask about it in this live. I think that it has potential to be good if you have a need for your magazine being at a different angle. That's my opinion. For me, I'm kind of lazy, and the idea of looking at how you can customize it, I'm like, dude, just give me the Axis Elite, because I don't want to play around with that. Like, I don't have time to sit there for 30 minutes and figure out which angle is perfect for my magazine. But enough of you are asking. Who knows? Like, I'm not one to judge until I try, except I do judge before I try, but then also come up with a new opinion after I try. What's your favorite Romero of the Dead movie? Oh, that's tough. Because obviously OG, what is that, Night of the Living Dead, is a classic. But Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead are kind of like that peak, Romero. What am I trying to say? Romero time period. So I'm gonna be super lame and say Dawn of the Dead. Although I will say an absolute guilty pleasure. Please don't judge me. I'm prefacing guilty pleasure is Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. It's a 100% guilty pleasure. I know it's not good. I still enjoy it, despite everything that's wrong with it. Any OWB holster recommendations for both SAS2 TAC 4.25? Most staccato holsters will work. Most staccato holsters will work. If it has a weapon light on it, an even greater chance that it will work. But honestly, I don't carry OWB ever, so I may not be the best person to ask. Word. What defense ammo do you carry? Federal HST 124 plus P. Been used in fiction. Probably the Hawk Moon from Destiny. That's also a fictional gun. I've had some time to think about it. So fictional gun that has been used in fiction, Destiny's Hawk Moon. Super dope. Final Fantasy, what is that, 8? Need the Gunblade from Final Fantasy 8. Yeah, I should have started with Gunblade. I would have known exactly what it was. Yeah, Final Fantasy 8 Gunblade, super cool. Dude, I'm about to go play FF8. Definitely do. All right, Josh is back. I'm a bit of a flashlight nerd, and the PIDHC is by far the best value for a pistol light on the market, hands down. 800 lumens at 44,000 candela is no joke for that price point. All right. I personally put a lot of time into that light. Okay, then we know it's good. But yeah, I'm down to check it out. Gun you're looking forward to most. What's a dream gun? All right, touched on this a little while ago. Mateba Unica 6 auto revolver and 44 mag is a dream gun. Beretta 93R is a dream gun. And the gun I'm most looking forward to is my Stealth Arms Platypus that is probably a week or two out because I'm like a week away from the lead time. Just picked up my new Platypus with the new grip texture and bull barrel, cleaning it while listening. Good day. Oh, man, you just had to make me jealous. I was out of town. I was on vacation when the new changes went live. So I ordered it like 3 days after the new changes went live. And unfortunately, that delayed the delivery to me by a couple of weeks because that's how it be. Oh my God. Perfect Dark N64 laptop gun and Farsight XR20. You're on the top of your brain's working really well right now because those are both super dope. Also, the Falcon, just like the default pistol, is really cool. Man, Perfect Dark is so good. I just got a Steam Deck. I got the 1 terabyte OLED model, and I just got EmuDeck and got like 900 gigs on an SD card of emulated games. And Perfect Dark was one of the first ones that I added to the Steam Deck. So good. The Glock 7 from Die Hard, absolutely. Ceramic gun made in Germany. I would send you mine to do a review of the Shadow 2 Compact. Yeah, hit me up on Instagram. Like I've said before about reviewing guns from subscribers. Like I'm mostly into doing it locally just because there's kind of less risk and, you know, shipping, and obviously there's shipping costs are kind of awkward. Like, do you cover that or do I cover that? But I'm open to it. Yeah, hit me up. Let me know. And let me know if you want me to do a drop test on concrete with your Shadow 2 compact. If you haven't seen Land of the Dead, it's pretty decent and a continuation of the series. Is that the one with John Leguizamo? Where they build like that, or not they don't build, but they have like, what is it, a semi-truck trailer or something like that. If it's the one that I'm thinking of, maybe it's not that one. I don't know. Land of the Dead. I don't remember. There are too many of the Dead movies, and I haven't watched them in a really long time. Do you have a favorite med kit? As far as like a pre-purchased med kit, I guess it depends on what you're talking about with med kit, right? Like just general everyday med kit, or like you've been shot and you need to stop at med kit. Because I just kind of put my own together. In that video I did recently showing my EDC, which full of cringe, called what does a gun tuber carry, right? I just have to come up with horrible cringe stuff that makes everybody hate me in order to get clicks. I can't just say Nightwood Guns EDC because the YouTube algorithm would show it to like 800 people and then it would die. So I just put my own together. As long as you have, you know, and now granted, I am by no means a medic, okay? But just speaking basically, if you have a quality brand name tourniquet, probably a cat tourniquet or a soft tourniquet, along with chest seals, packing gauze, occlusive bandage, some tape maybe. What am I forgetting? That you're pretty much good to go. So I just kind of put my own together. Literally just do your research on the best stuff and kind of like put your own together. It usually ends up being cheaper that way. But what is it? Dark Angel Medical sells some pretty good kits. And then my brain's starting to stop working. What is that? Mountain. But yeah, Dark Medical is decent. I've ordered some stuff from them. But yeah, do some research on what you need for your kit. It also always helps to have boo-boo stuff like Band-Aids, alcohol wipes, that kind of stuff. Was going to say, have to pick a Destiny gun. Hawkmoon is sick, but have to go Last Word. Dude, pa. Last Word is so dope. Love that Cowboy Fanfire. Yep, you were ahead of me on that one. Yeah. I mean, Hawkmoon was super dope. Man, those are the days. Is the gun that Rufus used in Final Fantasy VII based on any real one? I think it's like a lever action shotgun, right? So yeah, the Winchester, what is it? The 1887, is that the lever action one? So yeah, if you wanted something similar to that, I'm pretty sure it's a lever action shotgun that he's using. But yeah, man, Rufus, hard mode Rufus. Looking forward to your review of a Chambers Custom 2019. There's a waitlist to get on the waitlist, so maybe in 2 to 4 years. Yeah, dude, Chambers has been on my radar. A guy at my local shop got me onto them, and I would love to have one. Just buying a new car, don't have the scratch. Yes, Land of the Dead has Leguizamo in it. Yep, so that is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, that one actually, I mean, for like a modern, I guess not modern, it's probably like 10 years old now. For a modern B movie, it was actually pretty good. I also remember the guy with like the deformed face, and he like licked his thumb and like touched the front side of his lever action rifle with it. And like, why do you lick your front side? And he's like, makes it shine more so I can see it. Good times. Well, you are still live. I just finished working and able to join. Welcome, John. Good to have you here. Yeah, I was planning on going for like 2 hours, and we're at what? Almost 2.5. So might start wrapping up here soon, especially now that I'm catching up with comments. But I'm glad you were able to make it for a little bit. If you have anything you want to say, any comments or anything like that, feel free to let me know. Also, I did mention earlier on, if anybody has feedback for the channel, like I mentioned that it's like I didn't get to 100,000 subscribers without getting some haters. And it's one of those things where you have to take what haters say with a grain of salt. But people who, those of you who actually care about the channel and want to see it improve, if there's anything like that you'd like to see differently on the channel, or anything where you're like, hey, listen, somebody should have told you this, but like, didn't want to hurt your feelings. Now's your opportunity to tell me. Channel feedback is in the title of this. So if there's anything, now's your opportunity to drop it in the little feedback box. You are cringe and you are free. Yep. You know what? At some point, like I mentioned this earlier, I don't know how many of you are still here that were here earlier. There are so many times on my channel that I'm just deadpan trolling and people take me seriously and think that it's super cringe, that it's hilarious. So just know that super frequently, whenever you see me do something cringe, I'm purposefully just deadpan trolling. And I'm so amused when it triggers people. A lot of people find the thumbnails cringe, but unfortunately my click-through rate like quadrupled once I started doing those. So make some people immediately judge me and hate me for the thumbnails. It's just kind of a really crappy reality of YouTube, unfortunately. The classic M41A pulse rifle. I mean, how can you go wrong with that, right? Based on the Thompson. As long as it makes the noise that it makes in Aliens, I'm 100% down. Diary of the Dead is the weakest movie. Survival of the Dead isn't bad. See, I watched all of these as they came out, and like Diary of the Dead, Diarrhea of the Dead, more like it. Like I watched it once and then never watched it again, so I barely even remember it. What EDC holster are you using right now? Remember to not show the gun. Honestly, I don't even want to bring up the holster, but I will tell you it is the Tier 1 Concealed Axis Elite. 90% of the time I'm running the Staccato XC holster for X300 with my Bull Armory with an X300 in it. That's when I'm running 90% of the time. 10% of the time, I have a Tier 1 Concealed Axis Elite for the Bull Armory with no weapon light. And I'll run that like 10% of the time. That's vast majority of what I'm running. Who is your anime waifu? So that's a tough question because waifu number one is Tifa Lockhart from Final Fantasy VII. I don't know how she couldn't be, but I don't know if that's technically not an anime waifu. That's technically a video game waifu. So I have a lot of video game waifu. God, okay, anime. I would say Revi, Black Lagoon. The Moonraker laser gun from 007 GoldenEye is a pretty cool fictional gun. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah. Or, I mean, can we just talk about the golden gun? How about that? Or how about Oddjob's hat? Whoosh. That's not a gun, though. Oops. Best first 2011. So, like, baby's first 2011. If you have the scratch and it's in stock, the Bull Armory tack. If you have the scratch and the Bull Armory is not in stock, probably a Staccato. If you just want to dip your toe, you don't know if you're going to like it, then that's where I bring up T-Sauce. The T-Sauce, I've seen people call it like the B9R and like the DS9 and stuff like that. But I recommend the 5-inch Duty T-Sauce double stack 1911. That is a great, just dip your toe in the water for not a lot of scratch to see if you're even going to like the platform. Will you be covering rifles? Yeah, I'm just eyeball deep in pistols. I definitely, and not just rifles, but shotguns too. Like the one that I've been wanting to do a video of for, at this point, over a year, I've been trying to carve out the time to do the video, is I have an original, like 2006 manufacturer, Remington 870 Marine Magnum, pre-Freedom Group, and it's so dope, and I want to just blast stuff apart with that and talk about shotguns. So yeah, I also have another rifle I wanted to do a video on. Like I have an SBR AK that I want to do a video on, and I have a Scar 17S where I got a Striker billet aluminum lower that takes Magpul magazines, and that's super dope. I've been wanting to review that forever. It's just the pistol stuff is kind of the niche that I've cornered for myself, and people like seeing the concealed carry EDC stuff. So I'm kind of prioritizing that once I get caught up, and once the channel starts bringing in more scratch, I definitely can start pumping out more content, get caught up faster, and start doing those additional long gun stuff. Thanks, Knight. Would have to run. I've learned more about guns, holsters, anime triggers, comps on your channel than anywhere else. I just bought a 43X and will be changing the trigger ASAP. Thank you so much for being here. It was great chatting with you. All of you are valued members of this community. So thanks for being here and engaging. And I'm so glad that you've been enjoying the channel. I caught on to your trolling immediately over a year ago and subscribed on the spot. Thank you, Scott. I am so glad that it's not lost on everybody. I guess it just depends on like how far over on the spectrum you are. And if you're like, I post on Reddit 50 times a day on the spectrum, you just like miss it altogether. So, but I'm glad that you caught on to the deadpan trolling. Cause I some people, like, sometimes I'm obvious with my humor, but a lot of the times it's just, I'm like, who's going to realize that I'm just kidding about this? Buying your books tonight, dude, enjoy. Honestly, enjoy. I appreciate the support. Buying books does help. I get something out of it. You get something even better out of it. Enjoy the heck out of them. Super proud of them, especially Countdown to Dawn. The Romero zombie movies are kind of a once a year thing for me, just like the Tremors collection. Yeah, man, I'd get down to Tremors. I could get down to Tremors anytime. Do you find that provoking folks by trolling has helped or hindered your channel growth? I troll a bit myself, and it may be something to reconsider. I think it's both. I think it's a double-edged sword. I think that it has made some people just look at me and cringe and be like, oh my God, this guy is so annoying. Like I'm out. But I always hope that they always come around for a second chance, and that they can kind of see that at the end of the day, we're all on the same side here. At least I hope we are, with the Second Amendment, gun ownership, and how important it is to being a citizen of this country. I hope that we can at least agree on that. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably both. I think some people really enjoy the humor, and that gets an instant subscription. By the way, mosquito bite, not heroin track. And I don't know. I think some other people just have a stick up their butt and just take trolling at face value and think it's just super cringe. I don't know. I view it as entertainment. It like keeps me going on the channel. So it's probably helped my growth, because I'll slip in some deadpan trolling and I'm just like excited to see people get triggered in the comments. I feel like you're doing fantastic. Not much to change personally. I think you should do stuff like the RE Samurai Edge review. In my opinion, that's your best video since it crossed my two favorite hobbies. I've been getting a lot of that in this live, and that's honestly good to hear. I just need to market videos like that a little differently to a more widespread audience, because those are my favorite videos that I've done. So I'm glad to hear that so many of you are enjoying it. My biggest criticism of this channel is the occasional soy thumbnail, but if it works, it works. Also, sometimes you aren't hard enough on the flaws of guns that you seem to like. Interesting. Thank you for those super, super honest feedback. I'm slowly transitioning to kind of a middle ground with a thumbnail, less soy face and more, I'm trying to find a middle ground where it's particularly less cringe. It's like I see the analytics, I see the numbers, and my click-through rate pretty much almost quadrupled when I started making the faces. And like I mentioned earlier, I will literally sit there like doing the, for the thumbnail, and I'm just like, God, what has this world come to, where I have to do that? And I think people don't realize that I don't enjoy doing that. And they think that, oh my God, this guy is so, so cringe, so full of himself or whatever. It's like, no, dude, I don't want to be doing it. I don't want to be doing it. It's like, I didn't hit 100K by doing a thumbnail with just a gun in it. But now that, the community has grown and we're at 100K, I'm slowly, if you watch my thumbnails, getting away from soy and trying to get more into just an interesting expression that's less cringe. Not hard enough on the flaws of the guns I seem to like. Maybe. I might go through and look at a few of my positive reviews and just honestly take a hard look at it, because I know everything's objective, or everything's subjective, right? Where there's always going to be bias. So it could just be that I really, really like a gun and I'm really biased toward it, but I still want to be honest. So I'll still mention it begrudgingly because it's the right thing to do. It could be that. But either way, I really appreciate the honest feedback. Thank you. Seriously, it helps improve the channel. Of the suppressors you've used, which is your favorite? I don't have a favorite. I don't really like any of the cans that I've used. I need better cans, to be honest. These are nitpicks, though. I find your channel refreshing, to say the least. Well, I appreciate it. But despite them being nitpicks, I appreciate the feedback. Let's see here. Thank you. I am probably going to be starting to wrap up this live here. So if you want your question answered, toss it in there now. I'm going to give this probably another like 5 minutes or so. Honestly, I could go literally all night. Soy thumbnail, LOL. Have you watched Redline? Got to watch it a couple months ago and thought it was really good. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Oh, chair. Red line. Yep. Got red line right there. Redline's super dope. If you want to watch an anime movie that is pretty short, like 80 minutes or something like that, watch Redline. Open mouth excited. Oh, asking what soy was. Appreciate your content because you don't buy into the tough guy macho facade. Those types and the exclusionary attitude types push people out of the hobby. That's my opinion too. And I think that there are actually people who see me and they actually don't like that I'm not some macho, bearded, ex-Marine kind of guy, or at least put on the try hard facade. I don't know. I've just never been into that. But I think that there are some people who look at me and they're like, wow, look at this baby-faced loser. What does he know? So it's a double-edged sword, but I also want to give a space to people who are not all in on the machismo faux alpha facade. Hello from Chile. My question is, why do you like putting so many things on guns so much? Do they really serve in case of a moment of defense? I put them on a gun because they're fun, because I enjoy it. When you hit a point where you plateau in performance, and I'm not talking like crappy, but and again, people get really triggered with my tier 1 concealed 3.7s coin when I mention that drill. When you've hit the point where you can accomplish a drill like that is really difficult, or like Modern Samurai Project black belt standards, that's when the little changes on the guns can actually make a difference. The shorter reset can increase the speed of your splits. A compensator can make it easier to maintain your accuracy at those faster splits. As far as in a moment of defense, maybe it won't be the difference between life and death, but it may make it just a little bit easier. But the most important thing is reliability. If it compromises reliability, it's not worth it. That's just my thing, mostly because it's fun and I like it. And it's a small advantage. When I saw your vid for the first time, I subbed immediately. I'm glad to hear that. It sounds like we are aligned, at least. Do you ride bikes? Not anymore. When I was younger, I did. I don't really have any criticism of the channel per se, but I would love to see a video of the pistol drills you like to run at the range. I'd like to see your practice routine. Yeah, I've actually gotten quite a bit of demand for that. I should do that. Hey, sorry, just able to join now. Just wanted to say congratulations and keep up the great work. Thank you. I'm just going to breeze through these comments here, and then we'll bring things to a close. Love the channel, been a subscriber since you sacrificed your arm for the Porks versus Comps video. Going to buy your books tonight to bring on vacation. What are your thoughts on the CZ P10C versus Glock? First of all, enjoy the books and enjoy your vacation, man. We all need that. And those books are easy, fun reads, page turners. You're going to love them. The P10C versus Glock, it's 100% going to be a personal preference thing. My default is always Glock. If someone that I don't know is like, what should I get? I say Glock, because most consistent quality control. That's really the only reason. Yo, Gene Star wins caster gun. Holy crap. Thank you for coming in and saying that. That's the dopest thing. So many different types of ammo that kick ass in the caster gun. Top tier choice there. By the way, I love the 629 competitor chapter. Oh yeah, very nice. Man, I'm thoroughly impressed by this live. This was the first one I've watched. In my opinion, you have earned every single subscriber and deserve 1 million more. Thanks. You're warm in my heart, man. And I 100% believe you'll see that 1 million plus. Yep, maybe one day, but I definitely appreciate that. Thank you. YouTube's really hard, and hearing that makes it feel worth it. So thank you. I'm out. Take care and stay safe, brother. See you, Scott. How light of a SA trigger pull do you prefer for EDC? Like 3.5 pounds, ideally. Personal preference. Jockstrap carry is the wave. 100%. Please recommend a micro compact for home defense. X macro. Have you encountered a lot of people who have analysis paralysis that prevents them from training fundamentals because of them researching too many gun reviews? Absolutely, yes. If you're having analysis paralysis, buy a Glock 19 and then train and then figure out what you want. Saw a comment on Ports versus Comps. Looking video up now. And yeah, you are a cool, relatable person. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you think so. Please review a Grand Power pistol. I've heard a lot of requests for that. I appreciate that you aren't the meathead, foul-mouthed type cracking sexual innuendos every few minutes. We need to create a positive space for the youth. Yes, but we also need a little bit of dirtiness. There's a middle ground, right? The real secret about cans is that there are no good cans. Shooting suppressed just always feels worse in every other way, besides the noise reduction. Yeah, and we'll throw stuff in your face usually, even if it's advertised that it won't. Do you have an email address that you share publicly for us to ask questions offline? Yeah, sometimes can take me a while to respond to it. Best way to reach out to me is on Instagram at Nightwood Guns. That's how I'll probably get to you fastest. Patreon is another one. I also have a Patreon. I always get back to my patrons. But my email address is nightwoodguns@gmail. So feel free to reach out. I'll do my best to get back to you. Oh, not letting me show that one. Oh, there we go. Guns are the great equalizer that allows old women to protect themselves. The tough guy stuff BS is mind-boggling. So tough. Why the obsession with guns then? Yeah, I think it depends on why the person got into guns, right? Like I got into guns when I was 5 years old. You want to know how much ego was involved in that? Zero. Some people get into guns for ego, and that's the wrong reason. Though who am I to judge? They can get into guns for whatever reason they want. Thank you, Kenneth. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Found the channel by searching for holster and stayed for the content. I actually tried to avoid the soy face thumbnails. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I'm slowly getting out of the soy face. It increased my click-through rate, and it sucked. But hopefully, as I start to phase out of it and do more normal faces, people will come back and give me a second chance. Although some people are just completely annoyed by me. So I don't think luckily there are other channels for them. Channels for everyone. I'd love to see a Fudlore Mythbuster series like Do Red Dots Matter, Magwells Are Dumb, etc., etc. Anywho, take it easy, Mr. Nightwood. Take it easy, Chill Lupa. Appreciate having you here. Thoughts about Christ? Christ is dope. Gotta know what? Thoughts about Christ? Christ is dope. What's wrong with Christ? Oh man, Lost Media, Armor, Hunter, Mellow, Lynx, Anti-AT Rifle, Armor. Oh, yes, dude, that is killer. 100%. All right, guys, I'm wrapping this up. I'm headed out. It is nearly food time for me. Thank you so much for hanging out and celebrating 100,000 subscribers with me. Should be getting that silver play button here in the next few weeks. And just know that this isn't just my channel. It's your channel too. We're all a community. And I think we all have an aligned goal of normalizing gun ownership, the Second Amendment, and keeping these rights that we have bestowed on ourselves. So thank you so much for all of your support on this channel, and definitely look forward to so much more content in the future. Have a good weekend, bro. Congrats. Congrats again. Thank you, Kenji. My God, Kenji, you're still here, bro. Appreciate you. Same with you, Jesse. Holy crap. Appreciate you guys. Mr. Jambo, shades on. Appreciate you. But as always, love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Stay strong. Life can get hard sometimes, but just know that there's light at the end of the tunnel. You will make it through, and life does get better. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again for celebrating 100K with me, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everyone.